Oh, right, and we are recording.
All right, hi guys. Welcome to the STC Power Rankings. I'm Lemuro, and we have Hopeless and Yuki here today, also known as Perplexer.
How we doing, folks? How we doing? No more STC content. You couldn't wait,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Content farming.
Uh,
Yes.
Today we're going to be
hmm
doing power rankings. We're going to be including the roster draft and their actual Pokemon draft overall in a whole. Something a little new where most of the time most team tour power rankings just go off the player pool, what kind of players were drafted. But we'll be including your actual Pokemon drafts when it comes to how we're going to be ranking your teams.
This is a
Yes.
preference. Not all of the drafts are 100% finished, but they're like 99% finished, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think a random three-pointer is gonna move the needle too significantly.
It's
You
okay.
know,
It's mostly
you
one
can
pointers
you
and two
can
pointers. It definitely won't.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you think that adding Glaceon will save your draft and make us move your team up in the PRs, feel free to comment on our video
Mhm,
after liking it, of
mhm.
course.
Yeah, and subscribe, of course.
And ringing the bell.
Yeah,
Don't forget
yeah, that
that.
too.
Let's get into it, films.
All right, so let's start with the Steel Rollers, uh, captained by Spades and Ilyako. Going into the season, don't want to hate, but this was probably the captain core a lot of people thought was the weakest. I know when I was doing my write up from before the season, it was a little tricky to write about them because not a ton of achievements, but they are definitely a good core. Spades, he went 5-0 season 1 of STC and 3-1 season 3 of STC. He's captain season 2 and season 3 of STC, and I was his co captain. I can tell you he was a great captain. And Ilyako, he's also someone who's been playing a while and is very experienced, and I'm sure is very passionate about STC.
Mhm.
What do you guys think about these captains?
I actually have no problem with the captain
Hopeless.
core. I trust Spades to be a good captain. I've actually met Spades IRL. He's an awesome guy.
Oh, that's cute.
One of the reasons he was chosen as a captain core is I had complete faith that they would put in the effort and be a pretty good captain core. I've never heard complaints about you and Spades, and you've also personally vouched for Spades. I personally vouched for him. I think overall he's had the experience. He's done the tango for 2 seasons, right? And he's
Yeah,
always almost always a playoff contender. Made playoff season 2. He barely
Mhm,
missed it season 3, right? So
mhm,
he was
mhm.
always like in the race, right? Ilyako, I don't know if they have any that experience like that. They had said in their captain interview they didn't really have too many in Pokemon wise, right? So we'll have to see how they'll be able to keep up with all this kind of stuff. Roster wise, the roster wise is okay, right? I think they have some really, really, really good talent on here. Cookie's consistent player, right? I really
Mhm.
like Comedier as a
yeah,
pickup. I think that was a very good price for him. He was on my DFL team. I vouch for this guy infinitely, right? If you told me like, is this guy a good pickup? I would have said, yeah, he's amazing, right? I would have went for like 20K on him. Nicholas Danelli broken, right? I
Mhm.
don't know some of the people on their team like J.K. Gold, Scary Smallville. I think Avent's not bad. He came off a really good WPF season recently. He's been around for a long time. Um,
yeah,
I think Naniko would probably might shine on this draft. I think if this team is going to like make, because we all agreed that this was the one of the weaker rosters, weaker captain cores, right?
Mhm.
If this
I
team is
agree.
making it, I think Naniko will shine on that team, right? I think
yeah,
he's a sleeper pick. I was looking at him personally. He has not really been. He might not be too experienced with Gen 9 and all that because his main format is Gen 3, but he has the game
Mhm.
skill. He has the game knowledge, right? I think that was a good pickup. That's my thought on Steel
yeah.
Rollers overall as like a
Well, I
I
mean,
player
want to call
roster.
attention to the Scary Smoliv too. I think I saw in his player app that he's like won SCDA multiple times.
Mhm.
Now SCDA, a lot of people don't know about it, and probably the level of competition isn't quite as high as WBG. But I do think it says a lot when you can win things consistently. So I think for 4K he might be a great pickup. Like I remember last season, Spades like wanted us to pick up AFK champion, and like AFK champion went 5-2. He was great.
Right.
So
No,
I have a lot of faith in like Spade's ability to turn mid bids into great players, and
Look,
they've got a lot. They're the only team with 13 players on the roster.
Mhm.
I think the biggest thing about this team, like we talked about how, the captains they're experienced in like some avenues and they're like passionate, but they clearly lack like the higher end of some of the other captain cores. And so we've talked about the roster has like a few standout players, but what this team really needs to do is needs to like step up the lower picks, right? Like the cheaper picks on this team need to step up and fill in some bigger shoes. Because if this team steals a couple wins on some of their lower cheaper players, suddenly this team starts looking very scary, right? Like you have Cookie and SV with Cigarette and like helping out and stuff, right? Like you have the whole of Nickdon, right? And then, Spades probably wins a game or so, and suddenly, you're up like 4 games if like one of your mid bids wins, right? And so I think if this team like works together to like mock each other, elevate each other, like actually like be on the same page about shit and move together forward, I think this team is like worth more than people are giving it credit for currently. But if that doesn't happen and these just work as individual pieces, then I'm not too scared of it.
I can agree with that sentiment. I think
Yeah, definitely.
I think I can preference. I think every team, especially after looking at drafts, I think every team can make playoffs. I also think
I agree.
almost every team can miss playoffs. I think there's one team that shouldn't miss, and a lot would have to go wrong for them to miss playoffs.
I agree.
When we get,
I
we'll
agree
get
with
to them
that.
when we get to them.
No.
I think every team should make playoffs, though. I think almost every team can miss.
Yeah.
agree.
There's like two teams that I think definitely won't miss, and then everyone else it's up in the air.
We have any more comments as a roster wise as for Steel Rollers here? More comments?
Nothing to add.
Just option wise, I think this get nicked on price, 35K, tied for the most expensive in the auction. Now I have a lot of respect for Nick Don as a player, but I don't believe he's ever played draft before. So I think this was a bit of a case of like the captains having too much money in the middle of the auction and really wanting a star player and spending a bit too much.
I can't really blame them though.
Yeah.
So I think I can correct you on this. I believe Nicholas Danelli has played draft before. He said he's played draft, and I believe he's played in SCDA. That's the only place he's ever played in. I don't think he's played outside of
Wait, did you
SCDA, but
say
I know
SDA?
he's played in there.
SCDA?
I think he has. I believe he has.
Okay.
Oh,
then Space has watched him play then. Which
yeah,
is good.
no, I think him and Spades know each other.
Oh,
They know each other.
that's sick.
I would say my comment for Nicholas Danelli. I told Spades this myself. I think Spades should, instead of nomming. I'm not hating on the Cookie pick here. I think they got put Cookie for a fair price. I think instead of nomming
That's a
Cookie
fair
round one,
price.
pick one. You nom Nicholas Danelli round one, pick one. Would you probably have gotten him for cheaper, much cheaper, right? Especially when, because a lot of like a lot of the players, right? Some players like Angel went for 20K. If Angel got nom lot later,
Yep.
Angel would have went for more, right? If you nom him earlier, you probably got him for cheaper, and your like min bids as a whole probably might have been better. Like just like maybe some guys who like kind of went under the radar, right? He might know because he admitted that I didn't know some of the players in the pool. So he admitted that, right? I didn't know some of the players in the pool. So if you get Nicholas Danelli, he's a VGC guy. He might know some of these guys, right? If you had gotten him round one, pick one, get him in VC immediately as the auction starts, then like boom, like you know them, right? Because he'll be able to tell you like as the auction goes on, right?
Yeah, I remember for my team, the Chili Boys, who we'll get later. iPet Bigfoot was like working with the captains a lot before the auction, and because he's from the VGC community, he had a good knowledge of everyone and who they were.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
right, so Norway's now.
Yeah, this is a team. Holy shit, is this a team?
Yeah, this is a great team. Great start with Tio and Piranha Plant. Tio went, I believe, 9-0 last season.
I know. I believe 9-0. Did not drop a Switch game.
Last season, playing with Piranha Plant, who was supporting him and helping him with drafts. Although I do believe Tio was the one who was mainly in charge of his own draft. Actually, that rephrased that badly, but I think he was the one who drafted and came up with the idea for like Togekiss P2.
Yeah. I think a lot of teams have taken inspiration from that draft last season.
And then Piranha Plant, I think one of the, I'd say, all-time greats for VGC Draft League. Never missed the playoffs in this tour. One of the best drafters. Very well known to be one of the best supports. I'd honestly go as far as saying that it would be very surprising to me if any team that had piranha plants on it like ever, and he wasn't say 50K, would miss the playoffs in a draft VGC team tour.
I'm inclined to agree. There's a running gag, which is that Plant will lose his game and win the week because he spent all of his effort trying to get his team to win their games, and then doesn't have any time to do his own game and then loses. Right? I think he was like 2-5 regular season last season, right? But he was so valuable as a support player that his team was like crushing every week.
Yeah, this was the team I was referring to when I think there's a team that shouldn't miss playoffs. Yeah, and it's because of the captain strength and then the player depth on this team. There's a lot of really good players here for cheap, and I think every slot on that team can win games, which is really impressive.
I agree. Even the Nepo pick of
Yep. Yeah. And then going down the roster, we have Zach Zeal, presumably playing Ultrasun Ultramoon. He's a great player, done well in several WBG seasons. I believe good results when Gen 7 was the current gen in VGC tournaments, and also a lot of DOU results. So great player. And then we have Chris Reed, a good record last season, WBG Frontier champion.
Yes, he won last season. Yep.
Yeah. So he'll be in Guardian next season. Great player. And then Val, I believe this guy's a pretty good VGC player. Like regular VGC.
I don't know anything about Val, I'll be honest. I'm not connected like that. But I've heard decent things from what I've heard.
He's good. That's all you really need to know.
I'm sure he'll perform, right?
Yeah. Idol, very storied DOU player. Very familiar with old gens. This might be their other Gen 7 slot, but I know he's played a lot of Gen 9 singles draft, so he might be interested in that. And Alice going down, we have Alice Sabrina, played with Cho and Plant last season, put up I think a career best record. Probably excited to be working with them again. And then not too familiar with some of the other guys on this roster. I know K-Crick, great singles player. Sphil and Fluffy, just good friends with Plant, good for morale, good for activity. And then I think actually Sphil is probably their other Ultrasun Ultramoon. He's definitely capable.
I was gonna add it when I got the chance, but Sphil is I had Sphil on my team last season, with Accidental as my Usam slots. Sphil every single year has just gotten better at Usam, and he cooks the most fucking deranged shit that will just show up and annihilate any prep you had already. Because I think he beat Hopeless in Black and White using a Gorbis. So I'm terrified of this guy. I don't know. This guy I don't want to play against this guy at all.
Yeah, I agree. He's a lot of up and coming players. I know I really rate him a lot. I rate Skipper and Alice Sabrina a lot as his two cheaper players.
I agree.
They're not exactly mid, but they very well could have been, right, for both of them.
Close, yeah.
That was just a state of the end of the auction kind of thing. Just state of the auction as to why he paid a little bit more for them, right? But as for his two cheaper players, they're really, really good. Alice Sabrina, like you said, is on the come up. The amazing season last season. He did very, very well post mids in PWS. Did very, very well. Notably, he did beat Plant twice, which is another running gag that if Plant doesn't team with Alice Sabrina is going to beat him in regular season.
Yep.
I rate Skipper a lot. He won WPF Drought the last time they ran it. They don't have it anymore. Other than that, his other VGC results have been very strong. He hasn't played in WBG yet. When he signs up for WBG, we don't know. He's been saying he's been wanting to, but he hasn't yet. Where's the sign up, Skipper? Come on now. I waited for it last season. You sign up. It's gonna come at some point, man. He does very well. I think he's in Ryan's tour, which does a VGC. He's 3-1. He might be 4-1, maybe 3-2. I didn't check his current record for this week. I don't know, but last time I checked, he was 3-1, which I thought was very impressive. As for the rest of the team, you guys kind of like nailed it already. As for like everybody else, yeah, I don't really have any comment. I think this is like hands down like
I
a
agree.
great team. Like I said, I think everybody can win. There's
Yeah,
not
it's a
really
great
much,
team, yeah.
much else you can say.
This team is terrifying to play against. I will also add Fluffy comes with face support, so they have that also going for them.
Plant's team was coming with
yeah,
face
that's
support
true.
regardless if they got Fluffy or not. Let's not even be
Yeah.
real here.
I
Faye said I was
think he's
helping two
automatically
teams
Planted
max.
Steel. Actually,
One
I
of
do
them was
want to say
Plants.
something about Faye support. Faye was my support in DCL, and he carried me, man. Like he was active during drafting. He would give me a mock every week. He would like help with the build. And I believe he's done that the last 2 seasons of SCCs for whichever
Yeah.
team he supports. So like, do not sleep on Faye support, man.
No, face support. Say, I got face support in my first season of STC and season 2. That shit's like a drug, dude. That shit's like a fucking performance
Man.
enhancing.
I wish I
So,
got face
that-
support, man.
It's pretty. You don't need it, hopeless. We're fine.
Everybody keeps
Hey,
talking
this is,
about how great face support is, man. I need my
Okay,
mock,
well,
my
well-
weekly mock, my weekly VC. Like we're not doing this,
Okay,
bro.
okay,
Like
I can do that. I can do that.
That's not
Speaking
the
of us,
same.
Swiplets, we are
It's
up
not the
next.
same.
I don't think we can really comment much if you want to comment much.
Okay.
But Limbo,
Actually,
you wanna take it away?
yeah, I'll take this one. This is, I was giving Plant all that glaze earlier. I'd say Hopeless, equally deserving of all that. Uh, you know, incredible VGC draft results, great support, great drafting, never missed the playoffs in STC. Very close to a three-peat in STC, actually, because, you just barely lost in semifinals season 1, and then you won season 2 and season 3 pretty dominantly. Lodge Ice, also another great player, one of the new rising talents, I'd say. First emerged last season of STC when he put up like 5-2, 5-3, somewhere around there. And, been good ever since, been taking over DOU. So, we see a buy-in from both players. And then we see Jay Maudry. I'm informed this guy's a very good VGC player. And that is the kind of thing you want with like people like Hopeless and Lodrice who will be very active and very able to support. The 10 Phoenix, not familiar with him. I really like that he went for 10K. That's very nice. I think as karma for doing that, he should go positive.
W karma, right?
Tony, yeah, great guy. Great player too. I believe he's done well at IRL VGC events. He won the Smogon BGC draft. He won WBG Charm. He might have won WBG Black and White. I'm not sure. So basically, this guy is winning every draft event he comes into. Hopefully, it won't be this one, because I'm not on his team.
So let's get a correction.
Lily,
Tony did not
Yeah.
win. Tony did not win WBG Charm. And he did not win the Black and White, but he made playoffs in both. He made
Oh.
finals in the Black and White.
oh, I think he was just the best record in Charm, right?
He was just the best record.
And
Yeah,
then,
No.
he lost in
yeah,
semis,
and
I
I think he
believe.
made finals in Black and White because I remember him
I-
beating Lodges in semis.
I also have to. I'm just gonna comment as one that like didn't really know Tony going into this tour and is like on the team with him. This guy is so chill and so fucking like helpful in like discussions about shit. I don't know. I've loved working with this guy so far. So I'm keen.
Yeah, he's really chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yuki doesn't like that. Instead of explaining why Pokemon is bad, I will just go, "It's bad. We're not getting it." But then Tony will actually come explain it as to why it's bad.
I'll be like, we can't get this, and I'm supposed to be like, sit down, and then Tony will be like, no, well, it doesn't do this, and we need this, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Fuck.
Nice. Yeah, he balances out Hopeless as evil.
Exactly.
Yeah. Lily, this is Volcarona VGC, right?
Yes, this is
I believe
Volcarona VGC, Lily.
Yeah. So I've seen her play DOU recently. I haven't actually seen her playing VGC. But she's very good at DOU. She actually reminds me a bit of Tio in DOU because she loads up this size span team built by Tio, and everyone knows it's coming, and sometimes people will counter team it, but she will still outplay them, win those 50-50-50s, win anyways. I remember during doubles ladder tournament, I kept running into her using the same team, and I lost like twice in a row, and then I just started counter teaming her, which I'm not proud of, but it got me where I needed.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
She
You
did
gotta do what you gotta do.
She did actually place higher than me in the final round though, so karma.
Yep,
And
that's
then
rough.
Jay Scurf, singles player. I'm pretty sure he's active. Hiss, he plays doubles. He's pretty good at it. I think he had like the best record last DPL WU, and I think he did pretty well in a derby before that. He played WBG Frontier. He went 3-1, and then I think had to drop because he was too busy.
Mhm.
But again, this is another one where it's like, oh, he's getting all this great support, so he's probably gonna do well.
I also have
And
to
then
add
finally,
that he
yeah,
hold on before we get to me. I have to add that he has been really active in drafting. Like his how I don't know how to fucking say his name, but he's been really helpful in suggesting ideas and discussing like pick lines and stuff. So I really like working with him.
yeah. I heard you guys denied him his berserker.
I denied everybody the Berserker.
I was on the fucking Berserker train, and this fucking guy said no, dude. I mean, there's a good reason we didn't get it, but like, I wanted that guy,
Yeah,
man.
personally, I wouldn't take that. His requested trade to the Chili Boys, man.
Damn, that's tough. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, you can yap about me now if you want to.
Here we have Perplexer, captain the #1 STC seed last year. Very active. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not seen you play very much, but I'm
I
assuming
haven't
you
played very much. My most
Yeah.
accomplished draft, quote unquote, feat was the fact that you said Hopeless won dominantly in season 2 of STC, but I remember that fucking semi-final tiebreaker, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you got owned by me. I don't know what you're
I
talking
mean,
about.
oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
You guys did take up the tiebreaker. It went to game 3. I
Game 3,
believe there was
like
a
match
mischievous.
3. It was a mischievous that I didn't prep for. Won game 1, lost game 2. Game 3, I lost two 90% moves in a row, and then I got soul read by Hopeless and lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I kind of exaggerate the dominance of that season in my head because the roster was so insane. But you guys
was
took
kind
that
of-
insane roster to like the very end.
Yeah. Actual last game. But no, I haven't really been playing much in the last like year-ish. So like I am pretty rusty. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, the Genius X Eat Foods. This is kind of like the same situation, I'd say, as like a J Scurf or J Madri. Genius X singles player, very good singles player, probably like the best singles player right now. And then Eat Foods, up and coming doubles OU talent, I believe. Chill person. Uh, yeah, this is kind of a very standard hopeless draft if you've been following past STCs. It's always like hopeless, one more person who is going to be super active, and then like a bunch of like really good, just regular VGC players and singles players who might not be super active, but they will win their games. And of course, like, Yuki. Actually, there's not as much. Usually there's a couple more goons here. I guess you're just alone this season, Yuki.
I'm the one support friend.
No, it's okay. The team's more active than I thought it would be. It's okay. The team's actually surprisingly very active.
The
I
team
will
has been
say
very
Jay
active. I'm
Mordry
enjoying it a lot.
and Francis, they're very active. They're extremely
Yeah,
active.
yeah.
Like more than I
Yeah.
thought they would be, which I'm
One thing
very
you have to
pleasantly
watch out with
surprised by.
Hopeless is as soon as teams start getting eliminated, all their players are fleeing into his server, helping him out. The cabal assembles against you.
I've had to play against that twice now, so I'm glad I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Now it might
It's
not
really
happen this
funny in
time.
DCL.
Everyone might be tired of me
You
winning.
get,
They
like,
might be like, I don't want to see Hopeless win for a third time. Let's go help
That
the
is
other
true.
guy.
That is true. That is possible.
Yeah, for the sake of the SCC, we need you guys to lose.
Be like, this guy always fucking wins.
He's the main character. You know the craziest thing, by the way, that I'm gonna glaze my captain here. You were listing Hopeless's accomplishments. You forgot he won a regional. Like that just didn't come up, right? Like this guy's
Oh,
good
yeah,
at
I
like
did
standard
forget
VGC.
I mean, I left a lot of stuff out, man. Like, I didn't want to get crazy, though. I could have said multiple time WBG champion,
I don't know.
PWS.
This guy plays too much Mons,
best
dude.
PWS
He's go
record
outside.
ever.
I've been playing too much for the
Okay,
last
I'm gonna
5 years.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of PWS, we have the best single
Oh my
season in
God.
PWS as the next captain. We have Miso. the god, the player with the most aura in Draft League. I'm saying it. You know,
He's
shows
definitely
up,
got a lot.
he disappears for like 6 months and then he comes
Yep.
back.
Yep.
I also have the player with possibly the least aura in Draft League, Robin.
He's always there, dude.
W
Yeah.
keyboard warrior.
He's always there. He's
No. Keyboard warrior is a good way of putting Robin. I respect it though. He knows what it is. You know, he's not like ashamed of being a keyboard warrior.
STC and
he
WBG would
swears
be nothing
on
without
everybody
Robin.
in the
Like right
server,
now,
so I'm retired.
that guy carries. He
signs
carries like high key.
Yeah. Look, this is like my ex-girlfriend of a team. You know what I mean? This is like Hold Ups 3.0,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, but Miso has been on the same team for 3 years in a row, basically.
yeah, pretty much. The extras, the side cast have changed out, but he's been the same. Him and Angel.
Yeah.
It's always him and Angel.
Yep. The main character of this team probably went like 5K cheaper at least than she should have because she was the first knob. No, wish
God,
the second
Angel
knob
is-
would have gotten that privilege.
Just a second,
but
yeah.
It's okay.
I'm gonna say it. Maybe this is a hot take. I don't think it is, but I think Angel is top 2 Switch players in the playable, not captain included.
For draft players or just
Not
players as
captain
a whole?
included, she might be one.
She might be one. I think she might be one with not including captains. But it's
Yeah,
like
I think I like Aragon Swish more than her, but I don't think he's playing Swish. And then maybe if like one of these like other guys slots in, maybe. But yeah, I think she's number one. I think she has the most consistent floor,
I agree.
very high ceiling.
I agree.
Uh,
Sometimes getting her to that ceiling takes a bit of nuance in the support, I will say. But I've loved working with her every time. So I hope they bring her to light a bit.
yeah, I would have thought you would have ended up on this team actually.
I think Miso explicitly said he wasn't picking me up because he's like sick of being with me.
It's tough. Yeah. And then nice 4 after that, I think. Keanu, Chromate, Accidental, Jay's decent. 4 guys besides Keanu who've had good records in draft team tours in the past. Chromate, I think, played in Charm and did well. Keanu, top 8 at Worlds. Pretty good doubles performances. If he's motivated, I think 16K is kind of a steal for him. If he's not motivated, it's a little tricky, but we'll see.
It depends on if Keanu wins week 1, right? If he wins week 1.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot of-
Keanu was like, I was 19.
Yeah.
He's just like more burned out than a 40-year-old man.
That's so fucking real. But no, I also add that Accidental is I was teamed with Accidental last season. Amazing presence on a team. I'm just gonna say straight out, like this guy is active, friendly, like will like engage with everybody, like do mocks for everybody. He's like that guy, right? But he has some unique choices in draft that we will get to when we look at the drafts. But sometimes you gotta keep him
mentor, actually.
Yeah, you gotta keep Accidental a little like under control, I will say, and we'll see if the captains have done that when we look at the drafts.
One thing I want to mention about this team is this team is very balanced.
Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Actually, Players, he's definitely top 4.
Me. I said one thing I want to mention. Unlike the other teams, if you kind of look at the prices of the other team, Robin's team is very balanced. Price wise for players.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a very balanced kind of team, which in this sense isn't actually that bad because we almost had 200 apps when they're like 197, right? And in 197 is kind of tour where you have like good player depth in the pool for the most part, which I think we actually did have very good player depth.
Yeah,
I think you can afford to go a more balanced roster like that because if you look at Robin's slots, right? So where is his weak point when it comes to like tiers, right? Maybe it might be that he doesn't have a specific tier made for some gens, right?
Yep.
Maybe it's that I would say in this sense is if a player isn't motivated, then that's his weak slot, right? If we just go on a blank slate at neutral, it's a very strong roster, right?
I will.
It's very balanced. I think everybody can win on that.
I will say I think their weakest point is ironically SV, but like that says a lot when their SV slot is probably like Miso, right? Like that's their quote unquote weakest slot because there's like more slots to play it and they have less mains for it, right? But like even then it's like I don't know, man. This team seems like really well rounded.
He's very well rounded. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very balanced, I think, because
Mhm.
you've got like Miso and Robin can slot everywhere,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
then you've
I
got
mean we haven't
one
got to them
big
yet,
SM
but
buy,
Flap is
one
like the
big
Swiss Army knife
SS
of a
buy,
player,
one big SM buy.
right?
Yeah.
Flap will you like you say Flap you're playing this week and Flap's like okay and then he mocks it and preps it and he does okay, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very
Yeah, this
flexible.
is year 3 of Flap Angel Miso. Oh no, he was on
No,
Bloodline.
no, no. Yeah, in I my first ever draft game was against Flap. Funny enough, in STC season 1, season 2.
Your first ever draft game was in SCC?
Yeah, against Flap season 2.
Oh, by far.
He forgot I had Rocky Helmet and he lost a unlosable game.
Yeah, he went
Um,
06 that season.
yeah,
He's better
yeah.
now though.
He's much better now. He's much better now.
Yeah, he was also not getting Rising Dead Purple Haze support.
Man, I miss
Anyway,
Purple
moving on.
Haze.
Yeah.
I miss Purple Haze, man.
Yeah. Want to jump into Overcooked?
Yeah. So we've got this is I believe the only repeat from last season. Even
Okay.
though Chili Boys and Mawa Mafia are basically repeats, but they changed their name for some reason.
I can't run back down Bad
Zoro
Patrol without
is
Trace.
also-
I can't.
Okay,
Trace has been the only
yeah.
member to be on Down Bad Patrol 2 seasons in a row. If I didn't
Yeah.
get Trace, then it wouldn't be Down Bad Patrol. So you can't say it Down Bad Patrol. It has to have Trace on it.
Sure.
You could have bought Trace, man.
I could have bought
No,
Trace.
you
It could have bought Trace, but you know what? It wasn't a guarantee.
I will
That's
quickly
true.
add though that Zui Zoro is basically a repeat from last season. Like I'm pretty sure Captain Flap was basically captaining it.
Yeah.
I guess they had repeat as well, which they don't have anymore. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, there's Feel, Fluffy, Alice Sabrina.
Tio playing
Anyway.
Alice Sabrina W? We run back, bro.
Yeah.
No, I think Esther and Null are great. Just like I think they're great.
Yeah, Esther and Noah
Players
great.
people.
I think, and this is one of the most active captain cores. This is also one of the captain cores that's played the most. Esther has like played a ton over the last 2 seasons, put up winning records both seasons. Noah's played all 3 seasons, was unanimously the season 1 MVP. And this is another one that's a very repeat, that's been repeated. Sorry, I just looked down onto their roster and saw their most expensive player there. But they played together seasons 2, 3, and 4.
Yep.
They did better season 3 than they did season 2, so maybe they'll do better season 4 than they did season 2, than season 3. And they started off with the Stealthinators, Repeat and Flipsicle. Repeat actually went a little more than I would have bought for him. Like, he's very good, but he's not the most active player in the world, which is okay when you have Estra and Null, but still don't know if I'd spend 30k. And then Flipsicle, I'm going to spend
Yeah. No, I was gonna
a
quickly
lot
say
more than
the
9K.
30k is pretty a telling sign of like everyone in the auction has money at the start, and you're betting on a player that you're like this team is going to pick up, right? So they could push this pretty high because you know Esther is picking up like repeat, like everyone knows that. So
Really, I was more thinking of that with Flipsicle, because Flipsicle is very good friend with Esther and Null,
I guess
and
that's also
also a
true.
very good player. Yeah, so I was surprised to see them go for 9k. So this combined price is actually a steal. Flipsicle downside, he is cursed. Very bad teams over the last 3 seasons.
Maybe this is
Season
the one.
2 and 3 he was captaining. Season 1 he was just a min bid. He ended up on the Omega Lol Luxios. Not one of the better environments in
You know, it
STC
happens.
history.
Did Flipsicle play
It happens
season
to
1? I
everyone.
don't even remember that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he played
I wasn't here.
one.
I had no clue. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then we have Flying Beagle,
Also known as Lily.
very good player. Her price got a little depressed because she said she's only playing Swish. which obviously makes her a little tougher to fit on rosters.
Yep.
But I have faith in her to do well. She played WBG, and I think she did well in the Swish portion of that. And, Mons is Mons. And
Mons is
Borgie,
Mons.
yeah. Borgie, I hear this was actually an underpay, but I don't know enough about him to actually say whether or not it was.
Mhm.
But good player. Same for Jesus. AFK champion. I'm assuming this is the second Swish slot. He played for me last season. Very dedicated player. He tried his best to win his games. He invented the choice scarf after you, Goltris. That
He did not invent
Goltris
that. I was
scarf
running that
that
before him. Don't even.
you were not running that before, man. He did it week 1 or week 2, and then you started picking that up, man.
I was running that the season
Yeah.
before. Let's not even play, man. Come on now.
Yeah, I have my doubts.
Ladies, you're both very smart. Let's move on.
But yeah, he did great. He went 5-2. Unfortunately, we did not make the playoffs.
Happens.
Differential is tough sometimes.
Is it pronounced
Coded
Jesus or
Niche.
Jesus?
Oh, it's probably Jesus, right? Because
I think it's
I feel
Jesus.
like most people named that.
Yeah,
are
go by
Jesus, but
Jesus. Yeah.
I think
I
this is
have no
another VGC player, probably good. Coded Niche. Anish, I've seen this. I've actually have seen this guy play. He plays doubles OU. I wasn't super impressed by him in doubles ladder tour, but I think he's actually leveled up at the tier since then. Obviously this isn't a DOU video, but I think skill at that does transfer over to VGC.
It's very
He's been
horizontal.
good to Smug on doubles tour, so I think this is a good pickup. Except for 4K, this guy also a bit of a keyboard warrior. He's definitely going to be active. He does. He actually probably should have gone for more, but he does have a bit of. Actually, I'm not going to talk about that. But he's a great player. I expect to see him start, and I expect to see him do well. And then Staraptor, very good friends with AFK, good player. I think he went positive last season. He actually could have gone more positive, but he rigged against AFK, and AFK is just the GOAT, man. So he lost. And Insuitable 194, I'm not familiar with this player, but it's the 12th man. He's probably okay.
I can't imagine he's bad.
Yeah. I think everyone in SCC this season is good.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think there's ever been a play like a player that we said that this guy was bad. We haven't even gotten that side yet.
I mean, there's a couple people that didn't get picked
Oh
up,
wait,
so we
hold
could've
on.
been
This guy is bad. This
Let's
guy.
not talk about that guy. Let's not. Whoa, guys.
I'm about to
let's not
bold
talk
that
about
shit on the
guy.
dock. Hold on, I'm gonna bold that
Chill.
shit. That guy's bad.
Oh no. Oh lord. Okay. Yikes. Well, if Hopeless ever lets me out of prep support prison, then we'll find out, huh? Oh god. But no, Octilleries, I think it's just like a really solid team. You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking at anyone here and I'm like, wow, this guy's like the craziest GOAT player of existence. But I can't see anyone on this team that I'm like is bad, obviously, but I also think everyone here is like above average almost, right? Like I think this is just in a way similar to Starstorm in the sense that they don't really seem to have a big weakness that jumps out, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I think Esther is probably top 3 Ultras and Ultramoon,
I agree.
including
I would
captains,
100%
including
agree.
everything.
Yep.
Now that is the weakest pool, but it's still definitely worth something.
I think the preference is when you guys were saying, like Angel's top Swish pool, you just said Esther is top. And for context, this is for from previous seasons, right? We don't know how because this player pool is much, much stronger than it has been in prior seasons. So this is like a true test to the metal as all right, how are you actually a top player in this kind of pool is how I would look at it, right? If you can pull the same kind of top performance, consistent performance, or at least like a similar-ish level, then you really prove your shit. If you can't, and you go I don't know, an 07 record, and it's just maybe you were on fraud watch.
You
right?
mean like Trace last season?
Nah, give or take. He won when it mattered most.
My God, man.
He won when it mattered most.
He did win one. He won one.
Dude, all I'm saying is that Trace has double as many wins as anyone else in DC.
No. Trace had a fucking very unfortunate regular season last time. I think it was because Hopeless was busy and you couldn't prep him.
I was
but
on
don't know.
vacation for like
That was
3
my
weeks,
mistake.
man. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah.
Dude.
I think you guys also gave him a slightly suboptimal Slowbro Galar draft.
that was
Like
that was a
it was a
couple.
ranked D draft.
There was like the Sandy Sharks draft you kept trying to make work as well. That just did not ever
Hey,
win
that
games.
Sandy Sharks draft never lost a game. That draft went 6-0.
Wait, that was the one
Is
that
that
won?
the
What was the
last, is
team
that
that
the
lost
last
then?
place one?
No, Trace never slotted that one. That one I only gave to Impulse and Log Ice.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I remember Log Ice having some pretty good games with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that draft never lost a game though.
Chiyu,
The
right?
Chiyu one I had, Chiyu Wims, never lost a game.
Anyway, no, we'll stay on topic here. But just to quickly add, I agree that this is the make or break for like draft mains, right? Because you have a bunch of like non-draft Pokemon talent. It's like flooded this tour now, right? Like we can get to some of the teams, but you can look at some of the players and captains that are like not draft names.
Yeah, we're about to get into those teams.
But those guys play.
That is
fucking
true. We're about to
mons,
get to
right?
them soon.
We're about to get to those fucking teams. So we'll get jump into the happy friends now.
VD and Desk Smash. Again, former Down Bad Patrol members. Unfortunately, not captains. They didn't get to take the copyright, so they renamed themselves the Happy Friends. Best logo in the tour.
It is good. It is good.
Oh, I didn't even remember that they had Mischievous in there. You know, they're really calling back to that moment of glory. Well, for them, not for you.
Thanks, man.
Sorry, But yeah, Vini and Death Smash, both strong players. I was actually surprised to see that there was only one captain buy-in. Desk Smash, very good. Tons of results at BGC events. He went 6-1 for my team last season. He was great. He basically like came in with the plan. He was like, I'm gonna draft this Urshifu Rapid Strike Golden Go draft. And then we basically never deviated from that plan. And then he used that team every week and he won almost all of his games.
Good. No, I like Death Smash a lot. I think he hates me because I beat him twice back to back with different drafts in black and white, and I shit talked him for it. But I think this package is legitimately a really, really strong player, and I'm a little scared to go up against him.
Nah, you guys are rigging, right? You guys are rigging in regular season, right?
What was that?
You guys are gonna rig in regular season, right?
If I mean, we'll get to that.
This guy's never getting freed from support jail, man.
Gotta say it. You can rig
You are right. You could just rig me without telling me. Anyway.
Yeah, so Death Smash is great. I'd expect a very good record from him. After Death Smash, it gets very hard for me to say anything about most of these players because they're basically all VGC mains who are coming in for their first seasons. The only two exceptions are Aragon, Aragon, who's went for 35K, and Matrix, 5K.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Matrix. We'll circle back to the others, but I'm gonna quickly ramble on Matrix. Matrix was the GOAT, uncontested GOAT, arguably, of STC Season 1, from what I've heard. Right? Like this guy was expensive, showed up, won his games. Right? Like they won the season. Matrix has been
he was
active.
40K.
He was 40K. Importantly, he was 40K. Matrix has been active playing Mons for the last few years. He just hasn't played in like a team tour like STC. And so not a lot of people respect Matrix, and I think arguably he's like not as good as some of the top end in this tour. But for 5K, this guy's fucking insane. Like actually I'm like I think like me and like I would consider him a better player than me, which doesn't mean much. But I would argue he's at Angel's level, if not better. And so going for 5K, like I don't know, man. That blew my shit fucking mind. That blew my mind.
I do think Matrix is more involved in the Wi-Fi scene than he is involved in the showdown thing. It's a very my community is a very showdown-driven community. When a Wi-Fi player comes on into it, just like somehow some of these guys, there's like I believe the commander guy has won like 6 regionals, right? By all contests, if this guy has won 6 regionals, which I believe that is correct, right? Something like that, then there's no way Angel, it's because he's renamed Angel, right? So there's no way Angel is worth 20K and he's worth 12K if this guy has won like 6 fucking regionals, right? Like,
I agree.
it's like it's not parallel. So you have, so like there's a thing where, sometimes like if you just aren't that well known, which he very well might not just be well known. I could tell you not because he doesn't interact with my community, right? Back then, maybe when Strife was owner, he was a lot more well known because it was a lot smaller, right? As time has gone on, people
Just a
come and
quick
go out in
update.
the community, and he was one of
According to
them.
Commander's app, he top 8'd at 3 special events. I don't see anything about which one wins, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But that's still
top
pretty
8 is
good,
still
right?
great.
That's still
Top 8's
fucking
still good.
insane. And going for 12K for that is like, I don't know, that seems like pretty good price.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, a lot of people on Happy Friends, from what I know about them, they got pretty good prices on.
These are just all
Yeah.
VGC mains, essentially.
Yep. And Aragon, if you want to talk about Aragon.
And Aragon, doubles main. Actually, I believe he got like top 60 or something at like a regional, like one of the 2 regionals he went to. And he was doing it with Suicune Zacian in Scarlet and Violet, which, that's basically like you should add an extra like 30 placements forward because he was using that, honestly. But yeah, he's great at doubles. I think he's actually underrated at doubles. Like I consider him like a top 15, top 10 player in like doubles SV. But yeah, he's also very, very good at draft. He played at WBG and he was basically reusing his prep every week, and he still, I think, went 4-4. He might have made the playoffs. He might not.
He made playoffs. He made playoffs.
He made playoffs using the same team every week. I think I remember talking to Faye about this, but I could be wrong. But it was kind of hilarious.
Yeah, so that's crazy. And of course, season 2, playing with Hopeless, he went 10-0, best record in STC history. It's so good that on the standings doc, he's literally still second in all-time records despite never having played another season.
Goat.
So if he goes 10-0 again this season, I think we can safely say Happy Friends are winning the tour. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna be honest, those are like the only 2 people on this entire team I know about. You guys can take over if you want.
I got nothing else.
I don't got nothing else to say about Happy Friends. I think we said everything I want to say about it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, okay, here's what I will say. I hope that the players on this that aren't draft mains take it seriously, because I like, maybe that's like flame, not flame, I don't know, but there's a lot of people that I've seen that are like, they don't play draft, they play like normal league, normal Pokemon game, like regionals and double and shit, and they see draft as like a for fun format. I think they're gonna find out very quickly it's not, especially in this tour. So
there has been circumstances where non-draft mains have come in. They've been very confident going against draft players. Like, this is like I don't know any of these guys. I think I'm just gonna come in and just like win. And they've gotten curb stomped, right? It's happened before. I'll say it. Tio was one of them, and he's made a massive improvement since then. I think he went from his first time ever playing draft, going 0-3 and dropping, into having amazing records. They're like one of the best records last season, undisputed.
I remember sitting on a call
great
with
DCL record, great DCL record, and strong performance since then. Like you cannot praise that guy enough for that turnaround. Like that was a crazy turnaround.
I was sitting on a voice call with Piranha Plant while he was streaming his game versus Tio, right? He was just like clicking buttons, right? We were like, he like beat him, and I was like, who's the guy you just beat? And he was like, oh, he won a regional with Articuno. I was like, what the fuck? And then the next day he was like dropping 0-3, and we were like, what the fuck? No, dude, he's fucking what happened. And then obviously he came back, and then holy fucking shit, Tio is locked the fuck in.
Yeah, he locked in, dude. He locked in like crazy. He was like, all right, I gotta take it seriously now. He didn't take it seriously enough.
This guy, dude. I am terrified of this guy now. So that I hope the other players see that, like that are coming into draft, see that as an example to follow suit.
You missed out on maybe the game of the century, which was, I think, what was it, 9-0 TO versus 7-1 Hopeless, which was last STC.
Yeah.
It was going to be game 8, but then my team had won before.
You claimed forfeit win.
Yep.
Dude, I know, I felt bad. He kept trying to get me to play all day, and I'm like, I'm just gonna draw until his game 8.
Goat.
I mean, that game 8 would have been insane, though.
But okay,
that's what I'm saying.
I think it says enough about how much of a team like scary Team Zoras are, the fact that we keep fucking going back to them, but we really do have to move on to Chili Boys.
Yeah, this is my
Yeah.
team, so I'm gonna let you guys take it away.
Alright, so we got the Chili Boys, legacy captains. You got that boy in the end. They've captained 2 seasons in a they captained season 2, season 3, this season 4 they're coming back. I believe that boy captained season 1. Yes, he did. That boy
Yeah, he
captained
did.
season 1. The end was a player who he had scouted that I stole from him. I forget like my reason why I put 30k in the end. I think I just wanted to screw over that boy because I love hate crafting. Hashtag shoutouts to Robin. And they're just legacy captains. They're back again. Season 2, that boy, first overall seed. I forget how he placed season 1. I don't remember how he did. I believe he made playoffs though. Actually, I think he made finals.
Yeah, he made finals.
He made finals season 1. Yep, he made finals season 1. Season 2 made finals again. First overall seed. 2 very strong performances. Season 3 was lackluster. They kind of fell. They kind of fell to the bottom seed. I think they were 7th overall. Robin was 8th, so they were 7th seed overall. Season 3, season 4 they're back now. They had 2 strong performances, 1 weak one. So we kind of want to see where they end up this time around. For what it's worth, season 3 they did have like 20k left in the bank, so they don't have that much left in the bank now. And I believe their roster is pretty strong. Trace, Lemuro, yeah, we can just do it in order. Lem, Trace, Tekka, SR Volt Mike, The Crow, Akant, iPet Bigfoot, I don't know how to say that. 2-4, I believe that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Pocoyo, Rockwell, and Damo. I don't know anything about Rockwell and Damo. I could tell you Pocoyo was my my NPA captain. Overall, very nice guy, very chill, has very strong records. I believe he showed me hit him. I think he was like 8-0. No, it wasn't 8-0. He's like 7-1. During the Swish season of NPA, so he had a really strong Swish performance. I know he's probably going to slot Swish here. I don't know anything about 2-4 other than he's an USPA commissioner. iPet Bigfoot has been one of those up-and-coming players. We talked about a couple of them before. iPet Bigfoot is one of those. At least I would consider him to be. He's quite young. So, when he first came into the community, I used to think he was pretty cringe. Just being a dumb kid.
That was my only interactions with him.
Nothing against him. I mean, I've told that to him before. It's nothing against him personally. He's gotten a lot better now. He's much more tolerable. I'm very happy he's part of the community. He's been much, much better at the game now than he was before, right? Definitely one of those up-and-coming players. Akant, that's another up-and-coming player. I don't really have any comments onto Akant other than they have done pretty well in everything they've played in. They can be very hit or miss sometimes. That comes with it. That comes with being up and coming, right? Sometimes you have your hit seasons. Sometimes you have your misses. It is what it is, right? But from what I've seen, at least on this side of the community, he's had very strong seasons overall. I know he's a bit of a DOU background. I think he plays a lot of doubles LC, which I've seen him do very well in.
I think he started DOU about the same time he started draft.
Mm-hmm.
How active is he in the team so?
Akant, he's pretty active. He's mostly in SV and USM, and then in Swish, like, he does the same thing I do, where if it looks like we're about to get skipped, he comes in and he's like, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah, I do that in Swish. I'm like, hey guys, like, what do we need? Like, what's going on? Yeah. But...
next is the Crow. Yeah. I believe he's in the seniors division for VGC. I forget what his exact achievements are because it's been like a whole week from when I've been scouting people. I had a bunch of stuff down. It's not on the top of my head right now. Can you fill me in, Lemuro?
2-2 in NPA.
How do you do?
His achievements. He got 2 something in seniors, top 8 LA IC, 1 Rio de Janeiro seniors regional. He's playing in NPA 2-2. He's high on ladder. Like, I don't know. This guy's just like been around the block, basically. Like, as a young player, he's been around the block.
For being young too, it's a lot of achievements. He'll especially as he gets older, if he's 6 months, he'll be really, really good.
I agree.
Next is SR Volt Mike, the GOAT, DOU Westy. I don't know what else to say about him other than he's the greatest of all time. He should have been like 40k. But a lot of guys didn't let me put 40k on SR Volt Mike, unfortunately. What can I say? You stole SR Volt Mike from my team. Next is Tekka. I don't know who this guy is. I'm sorry,
Tekka. One of his friends, man. That's tough.
I don't know who that
Yep.
is. Do you know? Can we fill in who Tekka is?
I don't know who Decker is. I have no idea. I'll look up the app.
He went for actually that was fun. He went for 30K on the Mick team, season 1.
Yeah, he says VGC 18 Mega Mens Unga Bunga is his app. So I mean that says enough about him, really.
Yeah. I think he's like a limitless guy. I don't know.
Oh, I think this guy has played in you know Gattle? You remember Gattle? I think he used to play in Gattle.
I remember Gattle.
Shout outs to anybody who remembers what Gattle is. Next is Trace. What can I say about Trace? Trace is the GOAT.
Shout out to Ninja.
Yeah.
Two-time
Had a rough
STC
offseason, but
winner,
otherwise-
100%
Yeah.
finals rate. What can I say?
Yeah.
Constant performances across the board in VGC draft. If you ignore season 3
And you know exactly
STC,
season 3 of STC,
everywhere
which is
else
like-
he's done well. So if you just
Yeah,
ignore
everywhere else
season 3 of STC, he's done
insane.
well everywhere else. And
Yeah.
what can I say about Lamuro? Lamuro is literally one of the GOATs. Literally, like, what else can I
Yeah.
say, right?
I mean, okay, look, I'll comment a little bit on Limero. You've been around the scene for a while, right? Like you're a known name. I don't think really anyone needs to like.
I've been a
introduce
lot longer than
themselves to
Hopeless
you.
has actually.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Like you're an OG. Holy shit! Every team that you are on, somehow, even if it's like, from what I can tell, like a pretty bad team and you're on it, you guys like managed to claw your way into somewhere, right? Like you claw your way up the fucking ladders in the rankings. So I'm looking forward to what you guys managed to accomplish with you and Trace and the Dat Boy, the end captain, as well as like obviously like
Yeah,
the other picks.
I just want to bring it to your attention that both times I've lost in STC playoffs, it's been to Dat Boy's team.
Yeah, well, both times I've lost, it's been to Hopeless's team. So like
Oh
Let's see how
shit!
this goes
That's the match of the century. Me versus that boy in playoffs. Then.
yeah, that's actually the match of the century.
Right. Do we have any?
Yeah,
do
Trace is on
me
our
and you have
side
any more
now, man.
comments, Yuki, for
But Chili Boys,
That boy's team.
I will hold the judgment until we look at the drops. That's what I'm gonna say.
All right, and
Oh,
the next
actually,
is
I do want to take a second to shout out Hammerhead. That guy's been great. He's been great in SM, great in SS.
I'll add him
you know,
onto your
very nice.
roster. Aye.
No.
All right, there you go.
That's crazy. Okay.
There you
There it
go.
is. We're gonna add Faye to Zuri as well. I'll add Faye. There we go. Beautiful.
Perfect. There we go. That shout outs to the supporters of the teams.
Yeah. On God.
Yeah. Yeah, if your team is not the Steelrollers and you want your supporters added, just tell us.
We'll put them on there.
No, we gotta
But
take
you
him
have
off.
to
I
be
don't want
subscribed to the channel.
Play it to try to slot Faye. I know he won't, but
That's true. That's real. That's so real. Take that shit off. I don't want to fucking play against Faye, dude. What the fuck?
that might be a free win. Like low key though, low key.
No. Here's the strat. I talked to him about TFT before the game, and then we fucking
Just
and then
keep
he's like,
playing.
thinking
Just
about TFT.
keep him busy in TFT so that he never actually preps his game. Strat.
That's the line. Anyway, new team. Holy shit! This is the wild card of the season, in my opinion.
This is probably the core everybody was most hyped for coming into STC.
Yep.
You have Sven and
Yep.
Justin Tang, Lunala Dream Eaters. What can I say about this team? This is like half of this team.
This is your team.
This fact. This half of this team is my team. This is Down Bad
Yep.
Patrol, but you're missing Trace and Hopeless.
Yeah.
If you got Trace, this would have just been Down Bad Patrols.
Who needs Trace and Hopeless when you have Sven and Panda Wannabe?
True.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, I will
man,
say
Hopeless has one regional, Panda has two, you know.
Exactly.
How many
have
SCDA championships does Hopeless have, man?
I have to add. It's
Did I
really
win
quite
it?
funny
Did I
before we
win
get
a
into this
season in
game.
SCDA?
Before we actually
No,
dive
I
into this
didn't.
game, it's quite
I haven't
fun
yet, nope.
how interesting it is how much players gravitate towards each other consistently. Like we talk about hold ups 3.0, right? Like there's like the Plant TO team again, which has like Spiel and stuff on it, right? Like there's the Vinny Death Smash, which has like I think Aragon was like with the team before at one point, and then like a couple others, right? Like Esther, we don't have to introduce Esther and Nell. It's like basically the same team that's been there like every season, right? And now this is like Down Bad Patrol like discount, right? So it's like I don't know, it's just fascinating like from a statistics standpoint, from like how people like players will like gravitate towards familiarity.
If I could franchise players, I would have franchised Aragon and Trace every season. I don't care if their prices increase. My team would win every team. Would win every season.
Yeah, that's why we don't have franchising.
Yeah, thank fuck. Thank fuck for that. Oh my god.
Do we have any comments on this team overall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go over the players I know. Miniman, very, very good record last season. I'm surprised not to see him go for more. I think probably top 5 SP. Well, there's a lot of new ones, so maybe top 10 SP players for sure. Impulse, big yapper.
Yep.
Some would say second coming of Robin. Actually, that's too cruel to Impulse. No one should be
That's
ever compared
That's
to
a little mean. Yeah, don't want to inherit that. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but cool guy. A little too freaky, but cool guy. Panda, great player. I think probably top half of Ultrasun Ultramoon. So I think 9K is definitely a great price. Bed build also probably top half of Ultrasun Ultramoon. I believe
That build is
he
like
was like
the top of Ultrasound Ultramoon in my opinion. Like this guy is proven and seems active and like I don't know. Like I really respect this
he
guy.
was second at Worlds in
Usum format.
Masters or was it
In
was it in
seniors.
Masters?
No, it was seniors. Seniors, so
Seniors is still
fake
good,
division.
yeah.
Fake division.
But it's still fucking second at Worlds in Usum format. Like this guy's fucking
fake
nuts,
format.
dude.
Fake, it's seniors.
I think once you get to Worlds, at all formats are real, man.
Yeah. At that point, I don't know, man. Like, yeah.
I'm just messing.
Well,
And
just
then,
win Worlds, and
Nikki,
then you can shit talk him, hopeless.
yeah. And then Nikki Wiki, our king, expected him to go for more. Actually, I'm not sure why. No hate to Keanu or Mike, but I'm not sure why these guys went more than him when he's played a ton of draft, and he's a very talkative guy, so he'll definitely help you with your drafting. Great price.
Before we move on,
if I could stop for 1 second, let me tell you why Nikki Wiki went for only 10K. Because if you get Nikki Wiki, you are guaranteed to have at least one bad draft. Now, to him, this draft will be really, really good and the best shit since like fucking ice cubes, right? Greatest invention of all time, okay? To everybody else, they're looking at this like, yo, what is this? Okay? So if you get him, you're guaranteed at least one bad draft, but he will love it. Just give him his draft. Just give it to him. Let him do what he wants with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can look at the drafts shortly. You can point which one you think that one is if they have that.
I could tell you which one it is. I could tell you which one we get the draft.
Well, okay. I have to say, Panda. No hate to Panda. Love him as a friend. Love him as a TFT player. Very fucking chill guy. I don't know why he went for more than some of the other players in this pool, but.
I'm gonna defend Panda, man. First of all.
Okay. Before you defend him, let me finish.
You can go first.
I don't want you to think that I'm shit talking in here because I'm not. Right? Panda is very good when he has someone to help him be good, right? Because he has all the fundamentals of Pokemon, right? But he just doesn't really play a shitload of VGC, right? Like he's not a VGC guy, right? He's a singles guy, and so having Ben built in Usum with you, right? I'm fucking terrified of Panda because he has the fucking experience and guidance of a guy who is knows the format inside and out, and Panda knows draft inside and out, right? So together I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do against that slut, right? I don't know.
Yeah, Panda's great. I think he's really gonna. I believe he's captaining DPL right now, so he might not be as active as he usually is. But once that's over, I think he's gonna be crazy.
He's effective when he gets the chance. I agree. I teamed with him at one point. He was really nice.
Yeah, I think he's been carrying Team Canada in Draft World Cup.
I would
2 years now. Yeah. Do you guys know who Solinor is, by the way?
Not
hating.
I heard the name.
I forget who this is. I knew them before when I was scouting, but I forgot who it was off the top of my head.
He's a Switch player. He's a Switch.
Solinor. He's on that team for 17K.
He's won leagues apparently, draft leagues in Swish. So he's probably that Swish slot.
Yeah, I'm sure he's good. It's fine.
Okay, but also if Justin Tang and Sven spent 17.5K on a player for Swish, I'm trusting that guy's good at Swish. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way this guy's not
Yeah.
good at Swish.
Yeah.
So.
Do you want to mention with Tang that like people know him for his SV results, but he played when Switch was current gen, he was actually playing a lot of draft. So
Yeah,
like
that
I
was
wouldn't
like
be surprised if he's
his
very
main
good at
draft
that
pick,
too.
Mhm.
right? Because he came out in regional.
Yeah.
He came out swinging in SB regionals. When it was like really early SV, right? So he was playing draft all of Swish format.
Yeah.
Also, as a completely side note, I remember when I was first getting into Pokemon around just after Tang won, like 2 games, I messaged him on Twitter asking for advice for my first regional thing I was going to, because I used the team similar to the team I used. And he was like the nicest fucking guy ran to this random nobody in his Twitter DMs. So I'm sure as a captain, this guy's like actually like super chill to work with.
Don't mind me. I'm just updating the doc as we're going along here for draft.
Stress. No stress. I don't really have a whole lot else to add about this team. I mean, like, I don't have much to say about them. Mids Keith's Australian. He like played a couple of the STC seasons. Has had kind of like middling results on and off, but like honestly, I'm sure he's like a decent presence. And otherwise, I don't really have much to say about the rest of the team. Miniman's the goat. Shout out Panda. Like with Nick, I think that those two are gonna be nuts. And I mean, the captain clause speaks for itself, right?
This is a sneaky SCDA team, man. You know, I thought Steel Rollers would be, but this one kind of is one too.
Yeah. We will have to look at the drafts, obviously,
Alright.
for all of these teams, which we're gonna do. But
Do we have any final comments for the rosters?
Oh, right. Do we want to? Oh, actually, no. We're ranking after.
Ranking after, yeah.
Do you guys
I will
want to give
say
thoughts?
just some thoughts, straight up on rosters. There's a couple teams here that I like the people on them, but I don't think, based purely on the roster, they will perform that well until we look at the drafts. I'm not going to obviously comment, but there's some stuff here that I think is, there's like missing a top end or they're missing a middle, right? Like it's all too top. Like, I don't know. It's hard to find the right balance in player strength, and it really does come to fruition when you're like forced into that 8th slot every week, right? I think that that's something that people, maybe captains, maybe weren't thinking about, maybe they were, right? Hopefully you can comment on this if you want to, but I really think the 8th slot is going to like put a pressure test on these rosters that were previously maybe able to skirt by in the 7th slot.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely say also that every roster here is better than, like, except maybe some of the elite rosters. Most of the rosters for past seasons, like,
I agree.
even the weakest roster, which I'm not even sure which one is the weakest roster, would probably make playoffs last year.
Yeah, I agree. Or the year before, for sure, right? So it's like,
yeah, definitely the year before it.
I think unironically, even if we include the drafts from what we've seen and what I've seen, even though we haven't talked about it, I think any team can reasonably make playoffs this season, and that is a rare thought, actually. In most SCCs, that's not the case. So,
yeah,
I think for the most part, every season STC, we were all kind of correct on which teams we thought would make and which teams weren't. Maybe the placements were off. Like last season, my team was 4th seed last season, right? Like I don't think many people expect my team to be 4th, right?
I thought.
Yeah, no, I thought we would do as well. So we did.
Squirtle Squad would do crazy, and then they were both pretty bad.
And then I crushed them like a toothpick.
So like for the most part, like there is that kind of factor where but like this season, it's like I think like we're all like saying like everybody can make playoffs, right?
I agree. Yeah. So I'm just gonna preference that one clearly for everybody listening to this. If we put you 8th, it's not by much, right? That's what I think.
Nah. I say fuck them. If you're 8th, you're not making playoffs. I don't care. You could come into my DMs and start raving about how my team is broken.
You can yap me at, bro.
I'll give you the exact. I'll show you the exact draft as to why. I'll show you the draft as to why I ranked your team 8th place.
Yeah.
I'll show you why you're 8th. Don't worry.
Look, if you dislike where I put you, prove me wrong, man. That's my answer. That's my answer.
All right. You want to start on drafts now?
8th draft in my mind.
I think we get to the drafts. Yeah, I think we get to the fucking. Are we gonna go format by format and like pool? Or
overall, as for drafts, what I just want to do is I don't want to go by each draft piece by piece. You guys could take a second to actually look through the drafts if you want, real quick, if you need some time to do so. I know I was looking at them throughout, But I just want to
I
like
have
say
those.
which teams do we think have like or they're strong in which gens and whichever, right?
Well, I think we go team by team then, like we have done previously, and like talk about their strengths and weaknesses in formats.
I
That's like
mean,
normally how
like
I think we should do
that's
it.
the main thing, right? If you go here on the drafts
Yeah.
tab, you can kind of see
Yep. We start with
over
skill
here
rolls,
like where they
and
are.
there's like sort through like we talk about like SV drafts as a whole, Switches drafts as a whole. We don't want to get like too specific because that'll take like 9 years. But
I want to take like
I
a
think it's
million
pretty good.
years, pretty much, right?
Yeah. So
So I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go by team, real quick.
I agree.
So I'm gonna start from the top down. If you're on the draft section, I'm gonna start with steel rollers, and then that's gonna be Zoe Zoroa, Mawamaf, and then we'll go from there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to start out. First off, I actually want to say to Spade and Ilyako, I actually expected their drafts to be a lot worse for what it's
I
given.
agree.
I think
That's
a lot of
crazy.
people did. I think they killed it in SV. I actually like almost all their SV drafts. I think
It's one
SV4 is a
I'm
bit
looking
iffy.
at, but
I think SV4 is iffy, but I think the other three very good. This Raging Bolt Chi-Yu team
interesting.
should like never lose a game. That's broken, right?
Oh yeah, no. SV3 is broken. SV2, I'm like, it's like fine. It's just like shares a lot of with like SV3 and SV4. SV1 is ironically the one that I'm like a little question marky. It's like good, but like I wouldn't want to pilot it.
I like that
I
team.
think
But SV4 is I think SV4 is fine personally.
I think SB1 is the most high risk, high reward one they have.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it.
Like
And
it
SV4,
could-
I
it
think it's the most middle of the pack. There's like a high floor, high ceiling, like low ceiling, high floor, low ceiling for SV4. It's like the opposite.
yeah, I'm not a fan of their SB4 actually. That's kind of how I feel about their SV2, where
Yeah,
like
I don't love SV2.
you have like you have Raging Bolt and a ton of Raging Bolt support, and Raging Bolt is an incredible bond, so it's not going to be bad.
Yeah.
But like I feel like you're overlapping on roles too much. Like
I agree.
you drafted Raging Bolt, and then your next three bonds are all fake out bonds.
Yes.
And then you have Empoleon as your water type for type synergy, and then also I assume
Well, just
like a
Fairy,
turret.
Smile. Yeah.
Yeah.
The speed control on this team
but
also just sucks, by the way. The speed control on this team is like dog shit non-existent.
There's no trick room.
There's no
there's
everyone is
actually no
Fletchinder.
trick room.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
we don't want to dive too long, but the players they're fine. Right? The SV drafts are fine. Swish, I can't really comment on. This is not my format. Hopeless, you want to talk about that Swish drafts?
Yeah, this is gonna have to be Hopeless solo carrying.
All
for
right.
every Switch opinion.
All right, we got the Swish drafts right here. Oh me. I'll start. SS1. I like actually the start of it. I don't hate the Dracovish pick. I think Dracovish is pretty niche on that team as like a breaker kind of role. I don't never max a Dracovish. If your player here's my thing. If your player's ever maxing Dracovish, tell them what are you doing? Straight up. What are you doing? Never max Dracovish on this. Alright, so that's the first thing.
Yo.
Otherwise,
Vicious
I like the Cinderace. I like Thundy. I think Nihilego pretty good. I think this team has a negative Trick Room matchup. You're gonna have to run Imprison Nihilego in a couple of weeks.
Whoa.
You're gonna have to
Hopeless.
because you have a negative Trick Room
Hopeless.
matchup.
We're not doing individual draft breakdown. Hopeless.
Oh,
You can't
right.
just break down
My
the
fault.
draft.
My fault. I'm sorry. SS2 is Celesteela Rain. Celesteela Rain has never done well in STC. What can I say?
It hasn't. I don't think I've ever seen it do well.
SS3.
Hasn't done rain hasn't done well anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
SS3. That's all I have to say to it, really.
I mean, look, it's Rapid Coal. You have a Togekiss.
It doesn't amaze me.
Love your
I
max
think
options, right?
I think there are three really bad objective picks on the team.
Yeah,
I would say their
it's
SS middling. I think their SS like 2 is probably the best
Yeah.
draft, and it's Celesteela Rain,
Yep.
which has never done well in STC.
Yeah. Usam is holy shit.
I don't like their Usam.
I don't like their Usam at all. I don't like their Usam at all.
Yeah. I'll start off with draft 1. This is not bad for a Mega Men's draft, but my problem with this is that
Yep.
it's
round
a
two
Mega
trend.
Men's draft. Yeah, and you picked it for like I really would have liked to see Aega/Hero over Heatran. I would have liked to see you like pick Tapu Lele first instead of Salamence Mega. I don't know why I just said Salamence Mega.
I mean, look,
Everything
okay.
after that.
I'm a men's hater, dude.
Alright.
I'm a mega men's hater.
Yeah.
But But even if I was not a Mega Man's header, right, this draft like kind of just does nothing. Like it's mental bust basically, and that's I don't know. I don't think that's a great place to be in.
I actually
Yeah,
like the Heat
like-
pick on that team. That's my opinion on that. The rest of it,
They have like
eh.
eh.
Next is Usum
Yeah.
2. I think
but Heatran and Salamence, they do really nice on that type chart. You know, like
they do very nice on that
is-
type
They
chart.
do
That's
nice
true.
on the type
Yeah.
chart.
It's true.
It looks pretty on the planet.
then-
That's gonna be something.
Yeah, I mean, like, I do like this, like, you have this really nice type core with Heatran, Rotom Wash, Mamoswine, Hariyama, and, like, they're all good mons on their own, but they all fall into this middling speed tier, or
Yeah,
just
where is the
outright
speed
slow.
control, by the way? Like,
What the
speed
hell?
control
I
is
thought we
nice.
weren't breaking down
Like,
drafts.
Sorry, you're right. Fuck, I just hate men so much. Anyway, it's kind of
Let me just say, I think a lot of draft is about stacking the brokens, and I don't
Yes.
think this stacks the brokens. I think this like stacks the OKs and has a mega mince.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
And it doesn't even enable the mints that well. That's my biggest problem with it. Like, I don't know, man. It just
Yeah.
eats shit. Usum 2 is fine. I think it's the most fine.
I
Drafts?
don't like this one too.
I don't hate it.
I think
I
I
mean, it's
think
down by the tilt
Cresselia
stuff, right?
is a terrible mon that should not be like ever drafted high. And like after the
I think it was a
Cresselia,
bounce
it gets
three.
This guy's team got sniped on Cresselia. I can tell.
I can
There's
tell,
some
yeah.
hate said with that.
Also,
I'm saying-
okay. I don't know what Moltres is doing on this team. I think it's a T-Wind,
Yeah,
but like, surely there's a better T-Wind than fucking Moltres. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm sleeping like a baby on Cresselia, man. This is Tapu Koko, Garchomp, Blastoise, hero mode every single
Yeah.
game. And then if you pick a Scavalier, you have to pick Cresselia, and then you have to drop one of those guys, which sucks.
Then you can't put
And
him on top,
then
like
if-
Intimidate or Fake Out support. It's just like the whole
Yeah.
thing falls apart, right?
I think it's him on top, Coco, Garchomp, Meg, Blastoise every game.
Yep.
And if
Anyway,
it doesn't work out, you're cooked.
Usum 3,
I actually like Usum 3. I actually
It's
like that
okay.
team.
I would not pilot this team, but I can objectively see how it's okay. Does that make sense?
I think
Okay,
Entei
I
is
like-
bad.
I like this until the last two. Well, I like the Codney, but I do not like the live part of the wheezing at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, the bottom half is a mess.
I think
The
they're.
top
I think
half
they were
is-
trying. They're kind of
quite
cooking something, but I think they should have checked Entei's move pool because that guy's move pool is not in Usum.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're
Milotic's
pretty
cool though. I like
well,
Milotic.
so.
I like Milotic a lot, to be honest, on this draft.
But overall,
Yeah,
I think Steel Rollers has much better drafts than what most people gave them credit for.
Yep.
I think they
Yep.
knocked it out of the park in SV. Okay, in Swish, I
SS
think
Fine,
like,
and then Usum's
one
a
draft
little
is
underpowered.
meh. And I think this one draft is meh, and I'm
not
not
a
too
fan of
huge
their
on
SV,
Usum,
but-
but maybe it's my lack of knowledge in Usum.
I think SV is like slightly above average. I don't think it's much better than
It's
above average.
definitely
but,
better than a lot of teams. I'll give them that. It definitely knocked it out.
I mean, I feel like getting 2 Raging Bolts is kind of playing on easy mode, but
like, that is true.
yeah,
That is true. Anyway, I think Steel Rollers are it's fine. The drops are fine, right? Like it's nothing egregiously horrible. There's not really a draft that I'm looking at other than the SV3 that I'm like, this is fucking nutso, right? So
I
fine.
think
Yeah.
their SV1 is good. Special attacker Azelf is LMAO, but that's whatever, right? SS2, I already talked to Plant about. I think Plant knows how I feel about it. I don't like that there's like 7 4x weaknesses here. I think SS3 is
Yeah.
pretty decent. I like the Hydropple pick. Shout outs to Joey Pokeaim and SPL. Look at that Hydropple Bronzong. They got the broken core back together. And then SV4 is a pretty standard Psy Spam team. I mean, from Psy Spam, that's exactly what I would expect looking at a Psy Spam
yes.
team. And it's pretty standard. There's nothing egregious here with their SV drafts. I think all around it's pretty good. I wouldn't say they have any terrible draft or anything that's too middling. I
I
think
agree.
it's all okay. It's all playable. It's all
I have
feelable.
very little to add to any of this. I think the SV drafts are like they're archetypal and they do their job, right?
Mm.
And so it's like
Yeah, I think-
sure some of them have weaknesses, but like I don't know. It's nothing that bad.
Yeah, I think the SV3 is one of the best drafts in the tour. like Flutter, Corner, Lando, Ensign, and then like you're
So
getting a ton of value out of
my issue
Hydrapple, Bronzong.
with their SV3, which maybe I'm overvaluing this, I think Tailwind is important on this team, and it doesn't have it.
Yes, I thought they would get Tailwind over Trick Room. Like Trick Room's okay, I guess, but you don't want a ton of this team navigating in Trick Room, so I feel like you
Yeah. Like, your
50-50,
speed
right?
control is Trick Room or fucking Booster, Icy Wind, Flutter. And if your Flutter main is on fucking speed control, I mean, I don't know, man. That's not really a position for
Hey
me.
man, that's that standard VGC pill right there, man. That guy's always booster energy. I don't know what to tell you.
To be fair, like sometimes you can get away with not having speed control because you can lead Ogerpon Cornerstone Flutter main, and then you can click follow me, and then you can Moonblast, and then now you're up 3-4,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
have Sturdy, so you're still ahead. And
Yep.
then maybe you switch in your Incineroar, and then you fake out and you burned another turn. And so there's a lot of tricks you can do to get around the opposing Tailwind. But
Mhm.
yes, would like to see Tailwind with like Flutter, Ogre, Landorus.
All right,
No,
next
I
is
see.
SS. I think hands down, I think they have some of the best SS in the pool.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
I agree
their
with you.
SS1 this is a funny team. This is what you give to
Dive
your
to
singles
mono
player,
snow.
and you say you go
It
crazy,
dives-
right? They take K-Crick VGC, they say, yo, go crazy with this. And they don't even help him. You just say, yo, figure it out. He'll go crazy with that, right?
My problem
SS2,
with this is it dies to like special hate, right? Like, what is your physical attack on this fucking team?
it doesn't matter. You'll be fine. Just run Wild Charger Lucky and Kingler, you'll be fine.
Oh, true.
Next, SS2. SS2 this is a literal VGC team. Metagross, Grimmsnarl, P2, Entei. They had a Gmo on that team. They compressed Gmo and Rotom Wash in the Zapdos and made it 1-1. So that's like literally like the base of a VGC team right there. I forget who made it,
Yes.
but that's a literal VGC
Dude,
team.
this looks like the points can't even be real, man. This is great.
No, it's kind of insane they got this top 5. Like, this top 5 is, I mean, obviously, like, it's a 5-1 draft, but, like, who gives a shit, man? Like, your top 5 is broken.
Yeah, exactly. Like Crawdaunt and Sandaconda are like probably never hitting the field, right?
Sandaconda is him, dude. That guy's him. He breaks stashes in this sand thingy.
Next is SS3. SS3 is kind of like the copy of my core from last season. I will say, the thing I don't like, in particular, you're missing the Intim. The Intim from last season was pretty big, but then you can't go wrong with Dundee or Shifu single, Blastoise. So I think overall that team is fine.
It just seems good. And Usam. What do you guys want to talk about that Usam?
Yeah.
Because
this is I like their Usum. I think the one is kind of the weak point. It feels very weak into steals, and I am not convinced at all by Scizors and Mega. But
yeah, their answer to steals is Scizor and
Steals.
Lurantis. And okay, Mega Metagross is, I mean, they have like I mean, their answer to Mega Metagross is like Incineroar, which
It's
like
Incineroar,
it's an
the
answer.
200 base power Z move.
Yes. Yeah, it has to be that, right? And then if you miss that, you just lose, right? Like, if you get, like, red or outpositioned on that, you just, like, I don't know how you break Metagross, so.
Yeah. In their defense, every team kind of loses to Mega Meta, but, still not great. I'm a really big fan of Nihilego just in general. Like, if you look at its matchups into the Tapus,
It's great in defending,
great into
right?
Coco. Not amazing into Lele, but you do outspeed and then go into Fini.
Yep.
And
And like you decimate Bulu as long as it's not Scarf, you decimate it.
Yes. It has to be Scarf Bulu in the matchup. Usam 2 is pretty standard, kinda. The top 5 is like
I like
top
this.
4.
This is a very well done Lando draft.
This is just chalk, bro. This is just chalk.
Yeah.
They admitted that they got sniped on Crest here. So like they literally just wanted chalk. If they did not get sniped, guarantee if they didn't get sniped on the Crest, they probably would have took Crest over Prim, and they would have just had like a budget chalk court. That's literally what this would have been.
Listen, man. I'm gonna say it, and every time there's gonna be another draft with the Cresselia, and I'm gonna say this again. Then not having the Crest is an upgrade.
Probably.
I'm not sold on the Aerodactyl for what it's worth. I'm like really not sold on
that guy's broken. That's the Swish goat.
But a lot of people like him in Usam, and Swish for what it's worth. And so like maybe it's fine. And Haunter exists. You can click Earthquake next to him.
That's true. You can.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's a Trick Room
I
guy. I think, maybe? No, it's not.
Yes. Yes, it
No,
does
the
get
Trick Room.
It should.
Wait, what is Trick Room? Okay.
I do. Yeah, genuinely, the levitate is actually huge.
It's actually
'cause
huge. It's like legitimately huge.
Lando T, no, I'm not even being facetious. Because Lando T, the thing about Lando T is it has no physical ground stat besides
only EQ. Only EQ.
So you have to be clicking EQ, and also the best Lando T set is EQ. Is Scarf. So
Yes.
last season I was constantly getting into these positions where it'd be like I have Lando in, and it's just EQ, EQ, EQing.
Yep.
And
Yep,
you
yep.
really need your levitates for that. So I do like how this planned out.
So for draft 3, I'm a Mega Man's hater. I've said it before. I'll say it again. But I like the pieces on this team. I like him on top. I like Volcarona. I like Bulu. I like Aegislash. Like all of this shit enables Ments, which the previous Ments team did not really do. So I'm much more of a fan of this one.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think the only scary
I'm not a fan
thing.
of the Nido Queen, but the rest is very good.
What are you saying, Hopeless?
Also based Hitmontop Enjoyer.
The thing I think the only scary thing I would say is water types might be scary for that team in a matchup where you bench Bulu, where Bulu has like a really shit matchup. I think water types are scary. I think every Mega Men's team will inherently always struggle with waters unless you get like Mega Men's Kartana or something. But we can. The next team is my team.
Yep, we're up next.
What can I say about my
Okay,
team?
so I just
Goat.
have to go through your whole drafts.
Hold on, wait. Goat. Good draft. Good draft. Good draft. Good draft. Good draft. What can I say? And we just delete all my teams.
Okay. Your SV is 1. Your SV1 is good, but I don't know why you drafted Iron Jugglerist, man. That one is not good.
We have a reason, but we're not going to talk about it. We have a reason.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
I wanted Ilimis, for what it's worth. I wanted Ilimis.
Yeah.
We went
the Ilimis is ass.
I don't think it's ass. Sag. But I'm happy with the jug.
This too is interesting. I assume you're not gonna tell me what the Annihilate does, but
what do you mean? This guy hits shit.
Yeah, he hits shit, but like, why didn't you get like a Whimsicott instead, and then get like Chiyu?
The thing is, we didn't know if Annihilate would come. Also, your team took Whimsicott. You literally couldn't get it.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get Whimsicott. Well, I mean, Ogerpon Wellspring Whimsicott would make no sense anyway. But like, I feel like you could have picked one Whimsicott, and I guess Ogerpon Wellspring is safe. Not a fan of Annihilate here, but I think you made up for it with Pex, Sneasel, Spiritomb. I think that's great value.
I agree. I really like how Half. Also, we have the nose. That's gonna mean something.
I can't lose the Provo Pass if I have it.
Can't lose to this now.
We gotta lose to it.
Others will now feel my pain.
We gotta find one matchup that this guy cooks in. We have to find one just to like prove a point.
Yeah. Your SV3, yeah, I like this one.
I was really happy with this draft when it came together.
Yeah. This looks. I guess I would like to see an Intimidate with Prim, but actually you have does Draft have Intimidate?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I wish Chichino was like 10 base speed higher. It would be a really good mon if it got 10 more base speed, but
True.
I mean, you can't complain with 115.
I don't think you're bringing this to a single game. Your 3. Okay, this is literally what Dusk Smash went 6-1 with last year.
This is the Click Buttons team.
Okay, yeah, I think you guys have the best assortment of SV I've seen so far. SS. I really okay. So you have your basic Feeny thing. That's cool. And then you have. Yeah, I'm not. Right. Dude, wow, man. Colossal is 13 points, man. It's so good in VGC. Wolfie won the Players' Cup with it. This is a real steal here.
Yup. Draft players do not know what they are doing. Why is he 13?
Yup. Yeah, why is he 13, bro? Why is Palafin 9 points in SV, bro? Why is Palafin so cheap?
My Goat Togepi in 3 points. That's great. Toplis's signature Moltres Galar.
Yep. He asked us to get it first, and
Taking a
everyone was
note-
like, "Yeah, that seems fine." And he was like really shocked that we let him get it. It was really funny.
Yeah, taking a note from Mimikyu's book with the Sea King here. You guys were literally calling us out about having a Turtonator and no Trick Room Sitter, and then you guys drafted it too.
Okay,
Yep.
and
So hypocrisy
Hey man, I
there,
needed
man.
it. Look at my trick room matchup though. I needed that shit.
yeah, we need an answer to that shit.
Dude, Rotom Wash covers it, man. It's fine. It's fine.
Both Rotom Wash and Tornado cover it.
Actually,
he needs a friend.
Ferrothorn. Actually, I'm visualizing a Ferrothorn against you right now, and it's not. It doesn't look good for you guys.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Tornado helps out, dude. He's that goat.
I see. That's why we got it. That's why we got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hope your Ultra Sun Ultra Moon is bad because I'm tired of complimenting you guys. Oh, okay. Okay, I got what I wanted. Dude, what is this, man?
It's
Why
a
do you
what?
have Mega King, Celesteela, Raichu, Suicune, Blacephalon? This is the
Don't
most.
forget God of War.
Did you
That guy's
guys
real.
did you pick mods out of a random number generator?
Yes.
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa!
Yes, we did.
We had a wheel, okay? We spun a wheel. Come on.
Nah, this shit's the gas, bro. You don't know ball.
It's gas. I like
Yeah,
it, but obviously I'm
This is
biased.
the most. I can already tell this is gonna be extremely disgusting. You're gonna be running like Leech Seed Celesteela every week, man. I'm
Maybe.
not looking forward to this, man.
Bro, that
Just
shit's
prepping
this shit's
team
semi room,
movies.
bro. Wait, were you
Dude,
prepping for? You prepping
prepping-
for Charon or you prepping for Trick Room? What you prepping
Serum
for?
is really nice in this team, but also prepping against this team, like if I was on the other team, prepping against this looks like a pain in the ass, which is why I like it.
I mean, look, we got a
Yeah,
cute little
I mean-
Swirlix on there for mascot pick. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I've never actually seen a team like this before, so it is probably hard to prep for it. I'm glad that Celesteela is finally getting drafted. Like it was really
Oh,
sad to
shit.
see it go undrafted every full
Yep.
seasons 2 and 3.
I want to
Yep,
put this out
yep.
there. Meta innovator in the making. Mid draft, I draft Kangaskhan, Celesteela. Next draft, Kangaskhan round 1. Other draft, Kangaskhan round 1.
Yes,
Night draft,
yes.
Celesteela round 2. Next draft, Celesteela round 2. The other draft,
Yep.
That's
Celesteela
what I'm
round 2.
saying, man.
What can I say?
I drafted Mega Blastoise. Every other Coco drafted Mega Blastoise.
Yeah, y'all just copying my drip from
Yeah,
last
you're
season, bro.
copying
Come on
the-
now.
yeah.
We all know that's the down bad patrol team.
I've improved upon your team, man.
Okay.
Almost,
Okay.
missing
we'll
Garchomp.
stop, we'll stop dick sharing. We'll stop dick measuring. Let's move on.
Okay.
I'm
I
a big fan
really
now
like yours
of
too.
drafts. Yeah.
Yeah. This too is really great. I think Lele Yard, you can just call it there. This is going to be a good team after that.
Yeah.
Bit of a
Defensive profile of Cook is nuts.
Yeah, I don't really like Raichu with Yard because I feel like the biggest threat for Yard is Rock Slide, and you should be dedicating more of your resources to dealing with that than you should be with Electrics. But, you know, and there's anti-synergy with Fake Out, so I'm not a fan of this Raichu, but I do really like the Crocodile. Like, honestly, it was 12 points last season, it's 14 now. I think you could reasonably move it up to 15 and people would still draft it. Venusaur is great. I have a Venusaur with my yard. We'll see that later. Excelgor is also cool. You know, Acid Spray. That's nice. You know,
Yeah.
Be even more wallable than you were before. Also, Final Gambit. I apologize if I'm like leaking your stats, but like
No, you're fine. That's what you're meant to do.
this is pretty well known.
It's also unburdened, right? Like it's an unburdened guy on the field.
That's
Yeah,
all that
it's
guy does.
unburdened,
It's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ursaring. 4 points is good value. I don't really get Octillery here.
Octillery! He's got Moody, dude.
Yeah.
Also,
so generally,
Octopus
I
Cannon, Octopazooka or whatever it's called, is unbanned because it's allowed. So, Moody plus that,
I
can you
don't-
find cheese bullshit?
Thank you for reminding me that Octazooka exists
Yeah.
as a move.
Yeah,
We
it
are
does
never
exist.
clicking Octazooka in an actual game. by the
No,
way.
let me take it. Let me run that shit.
It's 85%.
Anyway.
You are missing.
Okay,
I'm hitting
I do
and I'm
like
dropping.
this team, but I really like this again. It's wall breaking potential, and I really love the top 3. My one concern is that with the speed, so all of your mons are 100 base speed, or your top 3 are 100 base speed or below, and then you do have Excelgor, who's pretty fast, but I don't know how many games it's coming to. And the thing with Venusaur is, like, I have a yard draft too, so I've been thinking about this a lot too, is that there's no dynamic speed in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Yep.
So that means you have to wait a full turn for Venusaur to actually be fast. And like that causes a lot of problems. Like I was thinking about like say the Naga matchup. Like if you protect turn 1, they're just gonna set Tailwind and now they're still faster than you.
Hey man,
Like
hey man,
you're
that's why
losing to
Raichu's there,
bind
bro.
boost, that kind of
See,
stuff.
that's why we got
That's what
Raichu.
that
Look,
Raichu
we
is
get turn 1 for free.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like you can't. It's harder to lead it. Like most of the things I was thinking about are like lead.
We're going too much into detail. We're doing too much detail, ladies. Let's move on.
Too much detail. Too much detail. Yeah, you have. You know what? I don't
Usum
even
3
need
is
to.
the nuts, dude. Usum 3 is the
You have
nuts.
Mega Meta. You have Mega Metagross. You know, it's gonna be a good draft, and then you drafted good Pokemon around it. You know, Zapdos. I'm not the biggest Zapdos fan, but you know, I think it's great with Mega Metagross, and it's also great with Garchomp, who's also great with Mega Metagross. Uh, Gyarados, great value. I was thinking about Gyarados, but like most of my teams already have the water.
We took it with
Greninja,
water. We took it with Grand.
yep. Greninja, Speed, Venomoth. Does Venomoth get Rage Powder?
It gets Rage Powder and Sleep Powder
Yep,
this gen.
yep.
It's Compound Dice.
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's great.
It has 2 and 2.
And poison typing, you know, you kill all those pesky fairies. The next 3 first round picks after Mega Meta, your Venomoth, all of them fear Venomoth.
Yep.
And then Misdreavus and Hitmonchan, you know, at good value.
Yep.
You know, yeah, not much more to say about that. Honestly, I think all your drafts are pretty good. Actually, I'm trying to think of which one I like the most and the least. I think I probably like your Usum one the least, just because like I feel like everything else will for sure be good, and this one's more of a risk. And I probably like what?
High risk, high reward. Gonna risk it for the biscuit.
I
You
was
gotta innovate.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I think I like your SV3 the most. You know, pick 5 POW.
Yes.
I don't know why people let you have pick 5 POW, but pick 5 POW is great, man.
Pick my POW into Rillaboom on the swing back. Like, I don't know, man. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Starstone
I think I
Crusaders.
spent. Yes.
This is a team. This is a team of drafts.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is, man.
Right, so Starstorm Crusaders, what can I say? Robin unpicked his Chen Pao for Shifu Rapid. I don't know why he did that. Alright, so this draft's automatically bad for that reason, because it's... No, my bad.
Yeah, he unpicked his Chen Pao for Shifu Rapid, and then
took a Sun team, and then went a Sun team with Rapid.
Yes, he drafted a Sun team because he was so desperate to keep you guys from having Flutter Mane Shiyu.
Yeah. Which we ended up not taking on one thing anyway. Yeah.
Dude, this is the down bad patrol team from last season. If you look at everything from down here, except there's a Shifu Rapid up here.
Yep. There is that guy. That guy is on the board. I don't love this. I'm just gonna say it. I don't love this team. It's like fine. It'll probably win games, but I don't want to fucking play it. Like I don't want to be.
It has a lot of good mons. I don't love how they fit together.
I agree.
Next is this draft.
The Sandy Shocks.
This is controversial. This is a controversial draft, I think.
I like this draft a lot.
I don't. I really don't like
it. Depending on who you ask, this is a good draft or this draft is troll. Depending on who got sniped on our Chaladon. I actually don't hate this draft. I think it's not that bad. What do I dislike about it? I think the Lando T should have been Lando I. Personally, I think it should have been Lando I. But it's Lando T. It's okay.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, SV3 is like
it's size spam. What can you? It's the same thing as the Zui Zoroa team. It's literally the same fucking thing. This team they're the same thing. It's a good team.
I like the Zoro's version better though. But
I think Cinderace is better than the Tauros Paldea. It's because of the speed tier. You don't have anything above Torn.
Yeah.
SP4.
This is a fine team. I like it.
It's cool.
Yeah, this is
You
fine.
click Howl. This is a Howl team. Like you like Gauching just clicks Howl every game, but like that's kind of scary, and so
Yeah.
it's like solid. Yeah.
I think Cans might be forced to declare Amulet every week, but it's okay.
Probably. It's probably
Yeah, this team gets cooked
Yeah.
by Intimidate
think-
really hard. Your special attackers have a net special attack of below below 95. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have liked to see
Yeah.
something else besides the treads.
mhm. Yo, Robin
Yeah,
loves
I
Iron
agree.
Treads. I don't know why.
Really.
Like, I know I love Shandy Shocks, but like I get shit for that. But he loves Iron Treads. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway. I think the SCs are fine. Like they're not great.
Mm.
Like there's no like huge broken top end in my opinion. I think like except for like the Slice Spam is like their best draft and that's like kind of fine. The other ones are kind of weak for what they are, but I could be wrong.
I think
Next
I'd rather
is
say I have Sandy Shocks than Iron Treads here, actually.
dude. That's what I'm saying,
I
bro.
agree.
That's what I'm saying. Sandy Shocks is the fix this team.
I think it's just an objectively better pick, yeah. But maybe it was Snipe or something.
All right. Next is SS. I got it from here. All right. So
Angel's
SS1 doesn't offend me. I think your fire resist is dog shit. Your fire resist is Urshifu Rapid, which probably takes like 50% from Max Flare anyway because you have bad Spadef. The team doesn't offend me otherwise. I think it's a fine Moltres Galar draft. I like the screens with it. I think Moltres Cortana's good. It doesn't offend me in any type of way other than your fire resist. I think I like SS2. I don't have any complaints about it. I think that's just... I've seen this core around a couple of times. I like it. I wish you had a special attacker on here. You do not have a special attacker. So get ready to run mixed Dracozolt every single week. SS3. SS3 doesn't offend me in any type of way. It's the classic cores of Finny Glastrier. Finny Glastrier. You're probably gonna have issues with you probably want to max the Glastrier and the Stacka. I like Pharaoh on that. I think the Pharaoh Mosta was a good X factor.
That was very nice pick. I agree.
Otherwise, I think that those are fine. I think your SS are okay. Your weakest is your SS1 overall. I think your SS is fine. I think your SS2 and SS3 are good. I think your SS1's pretty weak though.
Yep.
Oops, I clicked off that by mistake.
Okay, Usam.
I'm
saying on Robin's downfall here. You know, he can't be shit talking my goat eye hammerhead like this.
Right.
You know, sometimes in life we draft Yard over Tapu Koko, man.
Yeah,
Forgive him.
This is definitely accidental cooking some of this though. You can tell like by most of the picks. It's like definitely accidental.
Okay. So I really like their Usum 1. Again, Coco can't go wrong.
I mean it's Coco Bosphorus,
Would have
right?
liked,
Like it's
would have liked to see the last 3 be a bit different, but I think Braviary's cool. Does Mime get follow me in this gen?
No, it would not be 3 points if it follow me.
Okay. Yeah. So last 2 are never coming, but I think it's still a good draft regardless of that. Usum 2, dude, why did you draft Zapdos Naganadel, man? I don't understand why you would draft this.
This one's a bit...
Dude, Yard was on the board. Mega Gengar was on the board. Mega Kangaskhan was on the board.
The physical attacker is Araquanid with no real Trick Room mode, by the way.
I mean, Kecleon has Trick Room, but I mean, Kecleon and Mega Guard have Trick Room.
Okay, it has Trick Room. There's no Trick Room mode, right? Like, there's no
because the rest of the guys don't want to play in it like too well.
Exactly.
Yeah, Palos one's okay in it, but it's not great.
Yeah,
actually,
so it's just kind of.
I think the Trick Room is okay.
It's like playable, but you have to not bring your top 3, right? Like.
Yeah, I think the problem with the whole team that it's like just playable, but it's not really doing anything, and the counters overlap.
Yep.
I think this would have been fine if you just take Mega King Naga. Honestly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Or like Mega Guardi plus like Zapdos would have been fine, to be honest. I don't know. Is what it is. Usum 3.
I don't get this.
Side note, there's no fucking Intimidate on this draft with Mega Guardi. Like, why is there no Intimidate on this draft?
Well, the thing is, with both the Finny and the Guard, there's no Intim. That was the point I was going to bring up with the Finny draft. Is Finny really likes Intim. You probably would actually really like Intim, especially with the Z parting shot shit that you have. Because I mean, I wouldn't draft a personal Lolo unless I plan to use Z parting shot, right? That's like one of the big reasons you get it, right?
Yep.
No, I think Percival Lilla is really good even without C punting shot. Like you foul play.
I think it's the
like,
best reason to
have
get it. Like if you need a Mega
City
Metagross
with
answer, like it'll work as
Furco.
that too. But I think that's like
Yeah.
clearly like the best reason to get it, right?
Yeah.
The thing, enough like
uh,
the Torn on this team kind of has the hard carry, especially like the offensive.
yeah.
There's a lot of
This
squishies on this
feels
team,
like
right?
it's like a Lele draft with the Feeny over the Lele. You know, it's like a
Yes,
bunch of
yes,
really
yes,
good
yes.
offensive pieces.
And then Lele exists,
But,
by the
like-
way. Hello.
Right, that's how I feel about this draft too. If
Yeah.
it was Lele over Finny, I think this draft's a lot better because it's Finny over Lele. It's they don't play the
This
same.
draft uses Finny as an anchor, right? Like this is like you have to like you hit really hard, you clear a bunch of mods, and you like end game with Finny. And being forced to run something like that almost every week, or like scarf support Finny with Icy Wind or some shit, it just feels kind of bad.
Also, like you have two physical attackers on this whole team. Like
Yeah.
it isn't like the beauty of support Feeny that like you can stop the burns. Like
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't know.
I mean, you have a physical attacker and a physical attacker who can both run, who probably both can run special, and one of them
Yep.
is going to run special more often than not being Needle King, right?
Yep.
I mean, technically, you can
Yeah.
run Earthquake Needle King. It's not. It's like best option, but you can run it.
Yeah.
But like in most cases, you want to be running that Sheer Force Needle King for them big damage numbers. So it's kind of really only the Mega Lucario in most senses for that physical attacker.
Yep.
Also, no Rain Dance Torn. You're either air slashing or you're trying to hit 70% hurricanes.
Yes.
No, I land.
Yes.
No, I land.
Overall,
Just let him know.
SV on this draft is kind of middling. Sword and Shield was like fine, and then Usam is like hit or miss.
My
how I
favorite
feel.
draft from this
Yeah.
team, by the way, is SV2. This is my favorite draft.
Yeah.
Robin put so
Yeah,
much
it's not
effort
bad.
into hate drafting
I
that
like SB too.
yeah, he put so much effort into hate drafting this team that the rest of his team
That's
suffered.
That's kind of based. I like SV3, but that is kind of based.
Dude, bro,
Yeah, so just-
determined
yeah.
not to let you get that Archulute on, man.
It's very funny. Overcooked.
Right, overcooked artilleries.
Here we go.
Iron boulder
That is an iron
spotted.
boulder. That is an iron boulder.
That is an iron
That
boulder.
is a guy.
What
That's
can I
the
say
goat.
about
That's the goat.
what
Do
can I
not
say
hate Iron
about
Boulder.
SS1? Yeah, hear me out. Hear me out. If you delete Rillaboom and then switch to Torn T to Torn I, this team's infinitely better. I don't like the Torn
I
T.
agree.
I don't like Torn T speed control. I used it in PWS.
Yes.
It's wronged me. I'm gonna automatically look at a Torn T draft and think it's bad. I'm very biased on
Yeah.
that, so I'm always
I-
gonna look at it as if it's
I also
bad.
I hate that you have a fucking like Lando Eye with like no rain and it's your solo special attacker basically.
Mhm.
I don't know.
That's the other thing.
Bad.
I think like
Also,
Magmortar.
your only ice resist is Magmortar, which
Yes.
I'm not in love with. That is not coming to every game. I do really like how if someone sends out a fire type into you, you can fake out with your Rillaboom and then they can't protect. That's very nice. That's very nice.
I think they drafted around Rillaboom decently.
Yeah.
SV2,
LA?
I believe this is just a watered down version of what
Yep,
was
the
on
Dark Knight
the
My team.
Galarian Gentleman. Because you
Yes,
have Hearthflame BM, but you're missing the Urshifu.
Yeah,
You have
which is a
Latios
big part.
instead. It's kind of hard to be replace Urshifu's role. So I'm not too sure how this kind of team comp is going to do without the Urshifu. Because you have two core Urshifu pieces. One of them being the
Mhm.
Tinkaton, which is fake out. So it's like, why'd you get Tinkaton on this kind of comp?
Yes. Yes,
Otherwise, I
agree.
don't really have any
I
comments
agree.
towards it. Joy emoji coughing, joy emoji Regigigas.
Uh-huh. I agree.
Next
I
draft.
have nothing to say. It's just like a worse version of last team. Like a couple of picks kind of question
Next
mark.
draft,
Yeah.
I think this is a watered down version of my draft from last season. I think it's a bit different in a sense, but you instead of taking Urshifu Rapid, you spread the Urshifu Rapid's rolls in the hands Wellspring, and then
Yeah.
because you did that, your rest of your draft ended up not being able to compress. I don't know about how I
Yeah.
feel about
Does
Iron
Juggernaut
Jug being
have
the rain
Rain
setter.
Dance?
We'll have to see how that does. Otherwise, it's like fine. It's our train. It probably doesn't do bad. It probably goes positive.
I think it gets rain
Yeah,
dance.
but
I
who's
think.
rain dancing here though?
It's Iron Jug.
Like,
It has to. It's Iron Jug. It's only Iron Jug.
dude, I do not like Iron Juggler's rain dancing. Like, I wouldn't even like it if it was a torn rain dancing. Actually, well, actually no, I would like it if it was a torn rain dancing, but I do not like it as an Iron Juggler's rain dancing.
Mhm.
And also, I don't know why Iron Hands is here.
I do not know why Iron Hands is here. I also
Look,
agree with
Iron Hands
that.
is always good, but also yeah, I don't know why he's here.
Um,
S34, Fluttering Garchomp, Cornerstone. That's it.
Murkrow crying emoji, joy emoji.
Yeah, Murkrow, Raccoonie
Murkrow.
crying emoji, Salazzle
Dude, there
crying
was-
emoji.
Yeah, this team gets
They
fucked by
said
Intim.
they wanted-
This team gets fucked by
This thing gets
Intim.
crushed literally crushed by Rock Slide.
Yep.
Nah, Rock Slide's not the
Yeah.
issue.
And, as the world's #1 Murkrow enjoyer, I think Murkrow can work here, but you needed a mon besides Araquanid and Salazzle to
Yeah.
follow it up.
Yeah, those two are a little shaky here.
I mean,
It's just
like
ball
in
filling,
theory,
right?
every game you're bringing your top 4. I think that team is only ever, in most cases, going to bring the top 4. And if Garchomp is like extra dog shit, then you bench Garchomp and you bring one of Araquanid or Salazzle. But I never see the angle where you're benching
Yeah.
your Corner Pawn and you're benching your Flutter. The other thing I don't
Yep,
like
yep.
is
The
the
biggest
Earthquake
problem with
partner is Murkrow. But not to go
The
into
big
crazy
problem with
detail.
this is that like it's so easy to prep for, right? Like you look at this and you know exactly what you have to fucking deal with, right?
Yeah. Also, what are you guys doing if you're using this team and someone clicks Bleak Windstorm into you?
Yeah.
Whoa,
Click Wide
buddy,
Guard for
whoa.
Raccoon and let me know. Let me know I'm
That's
clicking
a lot
Wide
of
Guard.
words. Mm.
Alright, next is
Anyway.
SS. Alright, what can I say? Your SS1 is literally perfect. There's nothing wrong with this draft. It is the best SS draft, hands down, out of all of them, right? Perfect team. Alright, SS2, perfect
Okay,
team.
man.
You copied, you know exactly what you're doing. You've had the formula. Good. Good draft. Good draft. You knew what you were doing, right?
Just
Okay.
out to him, isn't it?
SS3.
Almost is playing both sides here. If these teams don't do well, he's just gonna say, "Oh, I'm the GOAT. I'm carrying all these trash teams."
Sure.
Exactly. See, exactly. I never lose here. Right? Exactly.
Sure,
Exactly, right?
Sure.
I actually don't hate your SS3. Your SS3 is fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's the same
It
as
doesn't
the-
offend me in any type of way.
Crusader
I think
one.
the Dracovish pick is good. I like Alecki. I actually like your SS3. I think your SS3 is really good.
I like it. It's fine. Who's
Usum one. This is a beautiful team. I'm a big fan. My biggest problem with this team is that there's a run on heat, and I know Esther, very dishonorable player, is gonna either bring ally switch or tell their player to bring ally switch, and I'm not looking forward to watching that. But rest of the team, very good.
Yeah, I think Usum 1 was looking a little dire with the round 2 Garchomp, but I think they cooked that one good. They cooked it very
I
well.
think this is one of the only teams I personally think is properly utilizing like Lucario, like as a mixed attacker in like
Yeah,
a
I
way
think
that like,
I think
makes
Mega
sense.
Lucario, Lele is like the best core for Mega Lucario. I don't think you should
Yeah.
be drafting it with almost
I
anything
agree.
else.
I agree.
All right. Next
Yeah,
is the Mega Metagross Rain team. I think this team is
I like this
weird.
Yeah. It's like fine.
First of all, Mega Metagross never going negative, and second of all, like I don't know, this could cook. I feel like this could cook.
This is
I
I think this is a high risk team where if
Yeah.
you don't know what you're doing with this, then yeah, your ass is gonna be lost.
I don't think the
know how
risk
this
is that
team-
bad because it's Mega Metagross with only one weakness.
Counterpoint.
Actually, it's like
How does this team beat a dark type?
You lead Seismitoad Pelipper and you Z water the dark type. You just go right into it and just die. Like-
oh yeah.
True. Ghost. Okay, and then team 3? Yep.
I don't like this one.
Objectively, troll draft because you skipped Lando T.
That is also
For
true.
Mega Kangaskhan combo. I already know the reason why it was skipped. I explained it, but objectively I cannot rate this team anything that's not bad because you skipped out on Lando T. Like,
Even by
that's just
itself,
how
I
it
don't
is.
like this top 3.
Dude, yeah, your fairy killers are Heatran, who is slow, and Crobat.
Yep.
Like every other Como draft is like Mega Gengar, so you can trap
Yep.
them and then you can hit them with the hard Sludge Bomb. Here you're just hoping you could get your Heatran or Crobat in on them, and then like hit them twice because those mons do not have super impressive attacking stats.
This team was a lot better with Mega
Do
Gen.
like
If you kill Crobat, if you kill the Crobat
Yeah,
and you make Mega Kangaskhan, Mega Gengar, the team gets like also like infinitely better.
yeah. I do like Crobat Mamoswine though. That is a very nice core.
That's a cool offensive core.
Also, and I like Galvantula too. I have no idea what Zatu is. It's 1 point. Actually, I don't care, but
Mhm.
I don't know what Zatu is doing here. Maybe some heat's gonna come out.
Yeah, my least favorite draft is probably your. I don't even think it's your Usum 3. I actually think it's which draft is it? This SV4, and my favorite draft is your SS1.
My favorite is your Usum one. If this doesn't go positive, I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
I like
very
the Usum
disappointed.
one. I like the Usum one. I hope the Usum one does well.
Yeah, Usum 1 should definitely go positive. All right, next is Happy Friends. Oh boy.
Oh,
Yep,
it's time.
it's time.
It's
We're
time.
starting off with the real one. We're starting off with Golden Go, Iron Hands, Landorus T, Screamtail, Articuno, Abomasnow.
I love giving my opponents Blizzard to snipe my Lando T.
Yeah.
This team has no speed control outside of Articuno, bro. Come on now.
I
Come
don't
on
know
now,
what
bro.
this team's doing. I don't know what this team is doing.
Screamtail, man.
I don't like. I love Screamtail. I love Iron Hands. What the fuck is this team doing? I don't know, man.
There's definitely a lot of ideas
Yeah.
here, and it's like if you took a bunch of ideas and put them together.
Mhm.
You know what this looks like?
Hey, you know, what does it look like, Hopeless?
Looks like 2-2-2, right?
It
Am I
does
crazy?
look like 2-2-2. It fucking
This
looks like
doesn't look-
2-2-2.
Okay, but 222 depends on being like super HO, so like you're trading.
Yeah,
And
this
there's
isn't
not a lot
2-2-2.
of
It looks like
trading
2-2-2.
here.
All right.
Anyway,
Next is SV2. Yeah, this is a worse version of the one on Zuizora was.
Yep.
And this team
Yep.
has no speed control outside of Scyther
And
Altaria.
it's
So you're
like
benching
double
like
dot.
one of Urshifu, Golden Go, Gouging Fire, or Tinglu Dozo for Scyther. So
Yep.
essentially, your two modes are Urshifu, Golden Go, Gouging, Scyther is your mode, or you
Yeah.
bench the Scyther and some other guy and then bring Tinglu Dozo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this feels like you stapled two drafts together.
Yes.
The bottom three are doing nothing. The top two are working as a core, but they're working as a core that wants Tailwind. And then the bottom three are working as a core that wants Chen Pao.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, I agree
It's
100%.
just kinda
I don't know what Bike's
depressing.
doing there. I don't actually know.
Yeah,
what
I don't love 1 or 2. 1 or 2 have both been fine. They're just messy. That's the best way I can describe these drafts. Is messy.
Next is SV3. This team's special attacker D-Knight. Can we go on to the next
Yep.
draft? Like, come on now. Do I need to explain
Yeah,
more?
this is mono lose to intimidate. You have to run fucking clear amulet, fucking.
No, it's not even.
thing
No,
everyone
no, Intimidate does nothing versus
No,
this
you
draft.
have Intimidate. You have stuff.
Oh,
like
you have
Intimidate.
you have Defiant. You're right. You have Defiant Ogrepon.
You have
But lose to,
Urshifu,
like,
you have Urshifu,
physical
D-Knight,
wall.
and Ogrepon. It's not mono lose to Intimidate, it's mono lose to Iron Press.
Yeah.
Because as soon as Urshifu dies, then this team just loses to Iron Press, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't focus energy with Ogrepon.
You can focus energy, that is true.
You can do that.
Okay.
But yeah, like the no
I think
special
Wisp,
attacker,
Wisp is the bigger problem.
it's a big problem.
Wisp is a huge fucking problem. Yeah.
Next is SC4. SC4 doesn't offend me. I mean, there's an Iron
like
Bundle which
SC4.
offends me, but other than that, it doesn't offend me. It's like fine.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah,
it
I
does its
think-
job. Right.
I think hit your hydros,
Mhm.
you live.
If Bundle hits
I
all its
think you
hydros,
struggle-
then it
you
is a
struggle into
20
like a
pointer.
snarl bot. You struggle into like a snarl bot, but like, it's like fine.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
Also, come on, man. It's 2025, man. We need to stop using Dash Bun.
That's
It's
fire,
points.
dude. It's shice. It's shice. Trust.
He gets
It's
3
shice.
points. Let him show
Yeah,
him cook.
man,
He's
you
gonna
can-
fucking lava plume Chiyu. Scarf lava plume Chiyu.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I remember STC season 3, 2 years ago. Season 2, 2 years ago that got drafted, and it
Yep.
did absolutely
It
nothing.
did nothing. It did nothing. Yeah.
And
Right.
and in the 2 years since then, no Dash Fun has ever done anything.
Yep.
It looks
I
very
think they're actually-
delicious.
I think
It
this is
looks
the
very good.
worst SV drafts so far. I will say.
Their
yeah.
best SV draft is definitely that SS2. I think SS2 is better than SS4. By like a
SV
mile.
or SS?
Oh, I'm dumb. Alright, SS. Alright. And what can I say about SS1? Side note, Grimstone does not get Sunny Day. That is an important note with this team. So in Lazy does Tapu Koko.
Sneasel gets Sunny Day, bro.
It's C Sneasel. So you either setting the whole point of Charizard being 18 points is because Gmax Wildfire is broken. If you took away Gmax Wildfire, your Charizard's like a fucking 14 pointer, bro. So like you just wasted like 4 points on Charizard for no reason. Unless you got like a Groudon hiding somewhere on your team that nobody knows about, right? This is the Groudon comp. I said this is that Groudon comp. The Charizard, Grimmsnarl, Gastrodon. That's essentially that Groudon comp right there. The Executor's like budget Venusaur, right? That's that comp essentially, but you just don't have a Sunsetter. That's that team's big problem. I don't know how you're gonna get around that every week. If Sneasel gets instantly deleted and then your Gmax Charizard, then you're just playing no Solar Power, so now you're just playing crippled. I don't know how that team's supposed to function. The best mode on that team is unironically Sneasel, Terrakion, then probably Charizard in the back. After Terrakion dies on lead, then you come in and click Sunny Day. Yeah, like, I don't know. SS2, you have Glacier, but then you're missing its best partner, which is Tapu Fini, which is weird. I don't know what Crocodile's doing on that team, and I think Cradily and Jellicent are weird. You have like you have 3 anti-electric, anti-water picks back to back to back to back, but then you have your Trick Room set is only Jellicent, right?
Yep.
I don't really I kind of don't understand the vision with that team. Maybe I'm just bad at the game. I don't see the vision behind it.
I agree.
SS3 doesn't offend me. I think it's fine. I think your first 3 were cooking. The issue is I don't like the Lando T and Lapras with the Polt. I think if you had Lando T Lapras or just Polt Lapras, it was fine. I don't know. I think Lapras is unbringable if you're ever going to max Lando, and it's also unbringable if you're ever going to max Polt. I feel like Lapras is a max hog because I don't think Lapras as a Pokemon on its own is good enough to make up for like how good it is a max. Outside of that, I think it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Your next is your Usum, right?
Yeah, they were cooking with Usum 1 until they hit the
Usum 1.
I
like Usum 1.
Magnezone, but everything else is
good. Even with Magnezone, I think that top 4 is like top 5 is like
the top 4 is good.
Like,
even top 4 is good.
Yeah, great
top 5 is great.
Yeah.
Top 5 is great. Like you have answers. This is like the best version of a Mega Gengar draft, right? Like if you're going to go for Mega Gengar, this is the draft you go for. So I think it's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
I wish you had better EQ partners. The issue is you had no EQ partners on this. That's the real issue.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Oh yeah. Oh. Wow.
This is probably unironically. This is probably special Lando T.
This has either that or you have to run Z Lando T because you can never run Scarf EQ, which is its best set.
Yep. Or every partner runs Protect.
Yeah, it has to run Protect. Yeah, exactly. That means you'd have to cycle your Protects because I don't think I believe Lando doesn't have
turn 1, switch to Persian, and then Protect on the Persian. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue. Because also Gengar's no Levitate. This isn't the gen that got nerfed as Curse Body. Other than the, I think this is a very very good Mega Gengar draft. The Lando T's a bit on this team. Maybe consider trading it. Next is Usum 2. I actually like Usum 2.
I kind of like this one.
I like it. I especially like the Togedemaru on here. I think it's pretty cool.
I like some of the tech choices on this team, like Toge, like you mentioned, and Shinotic and shit. I don't love the top end of this team, but that's probably personal preference.
You also just don't like Mega Mins.
I think I might just be a Nidoqueen hater because Nidoqueen does not look good on any of the drafts I've been seeing it on. But I like every other pick on this draft, honestly.
Dude, that Doug Trio shit's gonna be fucking annoying, dude. You have the double ground with Doug Trio? Dude, come on now. Double flying with Doug Trio? This shit's good.
Oh, Doug Trio is fire, man. I had like Doug Trio on like 10 different plans.
Can you explain the vision of Steel Immense to me? Because I'm not seeing it.
Fantasy Core, man. It's like
Steel Dragons.
Yeah. I mean,
I
that's
guess.
basically it, right? Like
I
Salamence,
guess,
the
yeah.
biggest problem for Salamence is the steals, and Celestial kills them. And then you
The
also have
steals?
wide guard for like Rock Slide. Sorry, the fairies.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, steals are also
Steals
problematic
is
for Mega
challenge.
Mens.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this draft struggles into steals
Actually,
in general.
steals are problematic a little bit. Actually, that's where Duck Trio comes in. You know, you trap them.
Yeah, facts. That's where
You-
Duck Trio
you
comes
queue
in.
with
Yeah,
the
that's the
Levitators.
trio. Okay, it's some three. It's a yard draft.
This draft's
This
good.
one's
There's nothing wrong with this
this
draft.
one's
This draft
good.
doesn't
I
offend
don't
me.
know,
I
dude. This
like
is
Crestalax. I like Crestalax a lot.
This draft actually has Lando T partners. This Lando T
Yes.
draft is actually better. The Lando T on this draft, which you got fucking round 2, by the way. So you got the Lando round 2 on this draft, which is better than the Lando T draft that you got round 1. Because this one actually
Yep.
has 3 Earthquake partners.
Yep.
This one 3. The other one is 0.
There's
Yep.
4. There's 4.
Is there 4? Who's the 4th one? Oh, Tangela?
Tangela.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess technically,
Dude,
I mean, you're still
it does
hitting.
like 15,
but I like the
man.
taking 0 damage.
Yeah, that's true. You have 4. That is correct.
Technically, you can say 5 because
So
he
I
has
love
wide guard,
the- I
Mr.
love the-
Mind.
I
He has
love
wide
the
guard,
trick
Mr. Mind. So you
mode.
can say 5.
I love the trick room mode in this build. I love Umbreon on this card. I think this is probably your best draft, if I'm honest. Out of all of the
Yeah, I think
I
the
don't
Wisdom
like-
3 is the best.
I don't like Umbreon or Mime at all here. That's my big problem.
I like Umbreon. I
And
like
then
Umbreon a lot.
Also Crest Hater, man. Just run Taunt, man. It's so easy.
If you run Musharna, it's the same thing, but you save 7 points.
True. Actually,
True.
though.
Good telepathy.
I think last year we were looking at Musharna. Anyway, Chili Boys.
My favorite draft from your team, from the Happy Friends, is
Oh,
the
Happy
Wisdom
Friends,
3,
yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, same. 100%. Hands down. You got a lot of
I like
lot of
my favorite
holes.
system one.
They have a lot of holes in their drafts in SV and some in Swish. Usum seems pretty solid. Usum's pretty. That's like probably your
That
best.
was
format.
definitely their best slate.
No. Chili Boys. They have a Raging Bolt. Moving on.
Raging Bolt, Instant, Amoongus. This is just fucking balance, man.
It's
Like,
balanced.
get out
yeah.
of here,
It's
dude.
like really. It's kind of.
This is just I'm falling asleep. Z.
Yeah.
Next is
Did
Chiyu
the
Whimsicott.
Zapdos wake you up?
Yeah, fact.
No.
I don't ever.
That guy-
I'm a big believer of Chiyu Whimsicott. I think Chiyu Whimsicott can ever be bad. I think it's always really good.
Yep.
I think
It's just
Glamour
a
is
fun
dog
drop.
shit personally. You
It's
should have
just a fun
just
drop.
bought the bullet, turned Electabuzz and Glamour into Enam, and then followed my lead from last season. Let me know.
We basically followed your lead from last season. The little difference is there's an Electabuzz instead of a Sandy Shocks.
That's true. Sandy Shocks
That is
carried.
true.
Sandy Shocks carried last season, dude.
And the Sharks
Sandy
was kind
Shocks
of
did not care.
nutty.
He definitely did carry. Your SV3 doesn't offend me. I wish you had a better tailwind sitter that isn't Illumise.
No,
I'm not
so
an
I've said
Illumise
this
believer.
before. I think Illumise is the best partner for Ursaluna, like hands down. I think it's the best partner.
I think
in draft.
Illumise is a Pokemon that has all my friends are dead syndrome, and effectively your opponent will never target if they are playing correctly and playing smart. They will never target the Illumise, and they'll only ever hit that slot that's next to it. If they're playing effectively and they're playing smart.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out how that goes when we play against you.
Right.
I think it's fine. I think this team is good, in my opinion. I like the Metagross as well defensively.
Next is SV4. So this is a better version of the team that I had last season, which is a worse version of what you had, which you made Lemuro in DCL1. But again,
Well, I mean, it was the same draft, right? But it's just that mine was in Regulation D.
right. I don't actually know how
Yeah,
this
look,
draft will go, per se.
Pulse Pal Entei is like fine, right? Like Pulse Pal Entei strong top 3, basically. Lander T, I'm not sure I love it here, but it's fine, right? Like it brings what it needs to bring. It breaks like steals and shit. You don't have to, but you have like Entei. I don't know, right? Like it's fine. Screamtail, I'm a fan of, but I'm not sure if it fits into this draft.
I would say Screamtail is actually the pick that makes this draft good. I think I stressed it
Really?
before in hours. If you noticed while drafting, I said I think you need screens when you're drafting with Chin Pao, and so Screamtail fits the screens. I think it's fine.
I guess that's
Yeah,
true. I guess
there's
it is
screens, there's Trick Room, there's Howl. Like
It does what it
Screamtail
needs
a
to
lot
do.
of
It's
stuff, like,
Encore. It's pretty good.
I think, like, I've
I
basically
love
almost
Screamtail as a mod,
always
don't
gone
get me wrong.
Screamtail on this kind of draft.
That's fair.
I wish you had an EQ partner for your Lando, but it's SV, so you
Yep.
click Stomping Tantrum. Next is
Stomping
Well,
Tantrum.
it
SS.
does get Stomping Tantrum this gen at least.
Yes, I know. I
Yep.
just said I wish you had an EQ partner.
Yeah.
SS. That was
I got this. Your SS1 is a worse version of my SS2. Let me know. It is. SS3. I already commented on this before. Like, I get it. I get it. You're kind of always playing your top four, and then you bring one of Tartinator or Ferrothorn if Chikram is annoying. But I don't know how strong, because I, no offense,
it
I
seems
think
passive. It's just
non-max
super
Lando
passive.
is Copium. So nobody's maxing on that other than Lando. And if you're bringing like Turt or if you're bringing like Turt, then like you're not maxing Turt. Then like what are you doing, right? That's my personal opinion. I think it's pretty middling. SS3, SS3 doesn't offend me. It's still
My
a
issue with
strange.
SS3 is it's super defensively passive. That's my
It's
only
very,
issue.
very. I think it's a very defensive team, but I don't think that's
Yep.
necessarily a bad thing. I
Yeah.
wish you had a
I don't know
Pokemon
enough
that's
about
above
SS to
100
defend
base
any of
speed.
these.
Somehow you managed to have a team that is below 100 base speed and below 90 base speed. So anything above 100 and above 90 are almost always running max HP versus you. That's the problem with that team.
Yep.
Next
Yeah.
is Usum. Right. So we have a round 2 Gothitelle. Next draft, right?
Gothitell's heat, bro. Let me know, man.
Let me know. Let me know. I think
Yep.
When
okay.
you get trapped,
If you take
trapped and there's nothing you can do, and you're
Okay,
getting
in my
yarded down,
opinion,
man. Let me know
in
about.
my opinion, this is objectively worse than the Usum 3 from Happy Friends. It's just a worse version.
Bro, if this match,
One to
I would
one.
happily match
One
this
to
up
one
into the
worse.
Usim 3
if
from
it's
Happy
1-to-1, yeah, well, because they have
one.
Yard Lando
Yes.
T. They have Yard Lando
Yeah.
T. Come on.
Yard T Cress versus Goth Hitmontop fucking Snorlax, by the way.
Goth is better than Cress. Goth is better than Cress.
Look, I love Goth. She's like dude, Parastrap is my goat. I love Goth. I don't think it's better than Cress.
I need to see you cook with this team. I think the Yard Snorlax is good. I don't think that team's necessarily that bad. Next is Usum 2. Usum 2 is interesting. I actually like the Mega Main with Finny. I kind of like the route that you went here. I think this is a cook.
I like
I think it's a good cook.
I always like Finny Cart.
I think Finny Cart with Mega Main, I think that's a good cook. I like Nihilego. I think it's strong, and I think Person Will is a good one. Your next draft is a worse version of my draft that was pretty bad pre-mids, and then I fixed post-mids. Mostly because
like the post-mids with like the hail.
you upgraded it. You upgraded the Arcanine slot, but then you lost Garchomp and you have Lando I. I don't also like you also have Lottie, which I don't know what.
This doesn't get the ability, right?
You're also missing Obama Snow, which I think was pretty key to that team. You're also missing Spiritomb, which is also key to that team. I have no comment here really. I'm not too sure how it's going to perform. So I actually need to see how that team would do overall. I don't hate it. I think Instant. I don't think you can ever go wrong with Coco Instant Mega Blastoise. I think that's strong. I don't think that can ever be bad. Even if your last guys are like kind of doo doo, you just those three enough can probably carry games. So you just bring Lottie, just like I click Tailwind. Ha ha hee hee. I will say you mentioned you mentioned Lando T, good partners. Your only partner for your Lando I is Latias if you're running Earthquake, so you're just running Earth Power always. Like, let me know.
Yeah, that's definitely fair, but I feel like it's not as big of a problem when you're paying 9 points instead of 20 for your Lando.
That's fair. That's fair. My favorite draft from your team, Lamuro, is probably your Usum 2. I think this team is a real cook. I think that's a good cook.
Usum too. I like super like Usum too. This is the sort of draft that I would draft if I had full control.
Man, right? Please, Mitch, please get a Pokemon over 100 base speed, man. Why is your fastest Pokemon Rotom Heat? All right, and then next.
By the way, just side note, I was considering Mega Latios in both the 2 and the 3. I think that mon is like kind of washed Newsome, right? Because you're bad into Mega Metagross. Like you're kind of bad into Mega Salamence. You're bad into all the Tapus. Like it's just not the move. And I think that's why you see a shift to Mega Blastoise drafts or Mega Latias drafts. Which are like, as you said, heavily inspired by the one Mega Blastoise draft, which was yours, Hopeless.
Yep. Okay, Lunala.
Right. I was talking a lot, so Lem, you took a break. You can go ahead and start us off here.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Lunala's. Dude, I'm gonna. Oh, okay. This Ochre Point Wellspring Tortoise Arch Ludon cooking. Indeedee Delphox cooking, man. I stand with the Delphox picks. Shiftry, cooking. Hobot, dude, you are
It's
not
like
cooking with this one, man, bro. What are you
it's
trying
like
to revive? Are you trying to revive a Tornadus, man?
it's the arc.
Actually,
It's the
that's
arc
kind of
for
good. That's
sure.
kind of good, actually. But
Reviving arc is
dude,
definitely in
like,
play. I think this is like
I don't like reviving
fine.
arc at 50%. You know, I feel like you need the tankiness.
Well, maybe. I don't know. This is like pretty standard. This team. It's like cooking. It's like Snice Band
Yeah.
plus Rain plus arc. Like I don't know. It's like good.
Yeah, it might be time for 20-point arc if this team
Honestly,
succeeds.
true. Chimpao plus Ogapon plus Iron Hands plus Entei. This guy clicks buttons. Yep. I don't love the defensive profile for this team, but they have an Iron Hands. So like that guy, yep.
People like this is also another one that's like overly physical, but I don't know, man. Like these are just good mons. Like Chen Pao, Ogrepon, Iron Hands, Entei, Weirdeer. Like this is a good time, man. Like I especially like the Weirdeer, like because I think this team is like sneaky weak to like Rock Slide and stuff, and like Lando. Like I remember with against Michael Derbest in DCL, like he had like a Terra Rock Lander's Therian, and that was insanely nasty for my Chenpad structure. So I like the Weirdeer, kind of like the Corviknight. You know, we'll
Yep.
see if they can cook with Corviknight. I think if Corviknight, it's almost like a little bit of a skill check. If you're good, it'll work out for you. If you're not, you're gonna end up with like all my friends are dead syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. SV3, dude, I don't like this. I know this is like 222 and all, but I don't like this one, man. Like
I don't hate it. I legitimately don't hate it. Like Dondozo, it's the only Dondozo Totsugiri draft, right? And so
yeah.
like I don't think a lot of teams have prepped in drafting to deal with a Dondozo, right? Like previously people were like pretty conscious about drafting a Dondozo counter in their drafts. A lot of teams I think might have like missed one. And so this thing might just auto win like half the matchups in the game, which I think it's more value than people will give it credit for.
I don't think
But-
Dozo Gary ever auto wins matchups nowadays. I think that was very much maybe like a Reg E, Reg D kind of thing where it was
maybe.
auto winning matchups.
I could be
I think
overestimating
it could be very good in certain matchups. I think outside of Golden Go, Roaring Moon, Dozo Gary, what do you have going for your team? I don't know what Mousehold is doing for you, right? I don't know what it does for your team.
Yeah, okay,
your team is
the
playing.
question
I
mark
think
there.
this team plays a 4 Pokemon game every time it hits the field. Maybe you bring Tauros. I don't think you ever bring Mousehold. Very rarely. If Dozo Giri has a bad matchup, I think this team is very, very much going to struggle. Very, very much.
Yeah, no, I
don't see. I don't see it. If this team autos like slots into Chen Pao, is it not an auto lose? You cannot bring Dozo Giri, right? And even into the ones that are monophysical attackers, like they do have one, right? Like their team is monophysical, essentially, right? But even to like another one that is like a monophysical team, which one is it? Let's say Zuizoroas, right? They would just be able to steamroll this team with just like a gouging fire. They can't do anything about it, right? They just can't. The ones with Entei, they can't do anything about it because the other Pokemon around it are not strong enough to be able to supplement for Dozo Gary having a bad matchup. And some of them might have a D-Knight on there. If it's the Chinpao D-Knight, you're even more fucked because now the D-Knight has haze and it's multi-scale. Well, what are you doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I think maybe I'm overestimating the value of it. But honestly, I think that the pilots in SV on this team might just be able to like cook with it anyway. Because like, I don't know. I think Joseph is very skill testing, even at this level in draft. So we'll find out.
SV4. SV4 is an interesting team. SV4 feels like it's missing a piece.
This is another high risk, high reward one for me.
Yeah,
I think every team with either a Roaring Moon or an Annihilate is very high risk, high reward for me because those two months don't have a lot of team tour results. So maybe they'll be super fire or maybe they'll just be trash.
The best performance for Roaring Moon, I think, is on the double the Urshifu Rapid teams are the best results for Roaring Moon, and the Heartflame Annihilate teams are the best results for Annihilate, right? They do have the core to have good results, being the Heartflame Annihilate. So maybe it will do well. I feel like this team is missing screens. I think screens would have been really nice for this team.
So my
I mean,
big
they have
issue with
more.
this, you don't have a
I'm sorry,
fairy
they have
killer.
Morgrim, a more real screen setter than Morgrim. Maybe like an
Yeah.
A-Tails, a
Lucky,
Grimmsnarl would have been really good. Something that's like
I
prevalent to
actually
bring
like
the games.
Morgrim a little bit. You know, you
It's
can
okay.
think yours with Lindo.
It's like bringable. My problem with this team is you don't have a fairy killer. Your fairy resist is Heartflame, which is fine. It's a good fairy resist, but you don't have a really like your Landorus is like having to like Terra Poison Sludge Bomb every week, right? So it's like fine, right? I don't think this team is a problem, but I think there's gonna be matchups where you look at it and you like fuck, like we like have some really forced lines, and I don't think that's a position you want to be in with a draft a lot of the time. But this is a team tour, so you know maybe they just like they slot it correctly and you're fine.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Yeah.
next is SS,
Yeah,
right?
we'll see.
Yep, SS.
All right, so on to SS. What can I say about the Steel? I think the Steel team's really good. I actually think this is one of the best Steel teams that were drafted this season. I think it's really good. There's not much I can say about it. I think all the Pokemon and all the pieces are just very strong together. I think the Morgrim's a good X factor for screens. Unpredictable, kind of like I don't know if they'll bring it.
I like
Dormant
Steel
is
at
the
Chomp.
breaker.
Steel at Chomp as a combo is really nice.
Right. Raichu's great because it gives you that Regieleki matchup, which you're really needing with Garchomp and Steel. So it's in the Coco matchup. Next draft, I don't see the vision behind SS2. I don't see the vision behind this at all. I think Thundy Blastoise is very strong.
It's Stan Thundy Blastoise. It's like I don't know. I mean, you have like a way to break like defensive guys with Excadrill, but I feel like maybe I don't value Blastoise enough.
If the Clefable and Blastoise, Blaziken were combined into like one good into like one cheap Trick Room setter and one good Pokemon.
I agree.
I think so too. I definitely think there was a thought process here. I'm not too sure if you like landed like you're trying to like fly it in there and like you got like a little bit of like of a rough landing. Maybe like you lost like a wheel or you lost like the wing of the plane like on the way to landing, right? Oh, so now we have SS3, which is a Metagross rain team. I'm actually interested to see how this one would perform. I'm actually not. I can't actually comment on Metagross. I don't think it's that bad.
The tech that we ran in season 2 was we ran basically this team from memory. It was very similar at least. Was Bulldoze Raikou is super fucking good on this team. It's like insanely good on this team. I think we ran like Scarf, Bulldoze Raikou for like weakness policy and like Metagross.
Well, yeah, you don't even need Scarf. It's fast enough anyway. The best Swish team in existence, which is this one right here. You know, you have Raikou to proc the policy with it, so you know. Yep. It's good synergy. I like this team. I like the idea. I think it's cooking.
I like it a lot. Yep.
Next is Usum. Usum is interesting. We did say they had one of the best builders, which is Ben Builds and Panda Blaze. Let's see how they did in Usum.
Yeah.
I like that Usum one.
I like the Usum one. Actually, I'm a big fan of this Usum one now that I'm really seeing it.
Scrappy's really fucking good.
Metagross. Yeah, great mon. Great mon. You got the two best fairy killers in the game with it too.
Yep. You have a ground weak Tailwind setter on Bulu, which is like really nice, right? Like,
I think Sylvie's a little fraud.
Sylvie's definitely fraud in this format.
Sylvie, I don't know. Look, if I just ignore the Sylvie, this team looks way nicer. But
you can never run really physical Lando Eye on this unless you're running Z move. You're only ever forced into the Sandforce special one, which is like whatever. Yes. But you are forced into the special one.
Yes.
Yeah. I think
Next is Usum 2.
Well, okay, I do have one problem with this team. Is your only steel killer is Lando. That's like kind of a big deal, right? Like if you're that's not okay. And like what steel are you thinking of when you think of a steel? It's fucking Metagross, right? So in the Metagross mirror, how the fuck do you deal with that? I don't know. It's like
you either run like Scarf Lando, Scarf Lando, or like Z-Naga.
Yeah.
Fuck Mega Metagross, man.
I mean, you can always use Savale. You can always use Savale to kill it, which is nice about Savale because it can go into any typing. The issue is Savale just has very weak stab moves to click. Like, it was good it's good in other formats because you have that 120 BP, but the weak beast power of multi attack at 95 in this gen, which is kind of like cringe. So it doesn't really have any strong moves to click. Next is Usum
And
2.
the stats are like super mid too.
Yeah.
Usum 2.
They have another Savali Lando
Yeah.
Eye. They have it again. Wow. They really like Savali Lando Eye.
Dude, it's broken
Yeah.
in draft, man. You can be any type you want.
Yo, that's crazy. You know what else?
I'm not
does
actually
that?
in love with
Every
this draft,
Pokemon in SP.
personally.
It's fine. My answer is it's fine. Like, it does a job that exists. I like Volcarona, I like Version Wash.
I wish
like
they had a
Top 2
fake out
Fire.
Pokemon that wasn't Dugong with the Mega Gengar Komodo
Yeah,
stuff.
like you could turn Savali into like a real fake out guy, and suddenly this draft is so much nicer.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like regular fucking Kangaskhan would be fucking
Mega
amazing.
Gengar would actually been pretty good on this, yeah.
Some of the fits here are weird. Like, I don't know what Lando is doing here. I don't know what Rotom is doing here.
It's another
Conti,
team where Lando can't run Earthquake. You have to force to run Special.
Yeah.
And on this team, like this team is actually very, very much a very special attacker heavy team.
Yes.
Where you'd want to run Earthquake on Lando, but Lando can only ever click Earthquake with Rotom Wash on field unless you're clicking Protect on the same turn.
Yep.
Technically,
you can click it with Conti too, but I don't know how many.
I mean, but then you're bringing Cottony to a game, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Usum 3.
Oh, you have Parasong too here.
You do have
Just
Parasong.
wanna mention that with you.
You do.
They do have Parasong.
It is with Dugong, which I think, unironically, I think Dugong comes to every game with this team. I wish Dugong was something
I would
better,
rather bring Dugong than Lando here. Is that crazy?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you bring your top three.
Yeah.
You bring your top 3 Volk, and then like Dugong, and then
you
like
have
one of your
enough
other
Dugong-
like 3 guys.
Dugong +1. Yeah.
Your Usum 3.
I think this is the weakest Lele draft I've seen.
I think I
That's my
agree.
take.
This is the weakest Lele draft, yeah. Although, that's partially because, teams actually got smart and didn't draft Salamence in the first 4 this time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just don't think I think there's only really like one. There's like a half a skill killer in Buzzwole. The issue with Buzz is draft 4 times weaknesses, so Buzzwole might catch like a random HP flying and just like eviscerate like instantly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even beat most of steel types like 1v1. Like when you're thinking steel types, right?
Yep.
Aegis /
There goes
Stila,
Katana.
you don't beat those. Kartana?
Yeah.
Kartana has
This
like aerial
feels
like
like
right?
Yep.
Heatran outruns you. I'm pretty sure Heatran outruns Buzzwole. Or they speed tie. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
And you just die to fire move, right? So you're forced to run Scarf. So like
No.
I guess you have the rain, but still, like the point is, right? It's not amazing in the most of the steel
Oh
types.
no,
anyway.
Buzzwole outruns Heatran by 2 speed.
Oh, does it?
Huge.
What's Buzzwole's base speed?
79.
Oh,
Damn.
it's by 2 points.
That's
You
actually
got
good.
him.
That's
You got him. Okay.
Maybe it's bringable. Maybe it's bringable.
It's
This
bringable.
one's
Maybe
Heatran.
in the Heatran matchup where you have rain already.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I think it's fine. I think 1 and 2 are much better than 3. I think 1 is probably your best draft.
This feels like a pretty good Steeler draft that has a Lele on it randomly.
No,
These guys cooked.
It almost
they cooked a little. They
almost
looked
feels
a
like
little.
It almost feels like the Crusaders and Dream Eaters drafts would make more sense if the tap boost was switched.
Yep, I
you
agree.
have a Lele
I agree
draft.
completely. Lele and Finny switch. It makes way more sense. Maybe talk about that in mids. Honestly, I would talk about that in mids.
Yeah, although I think you
Yeah.
drop the rain element if you have Feeny, but
Yeah, I agree. But like, just in general, like the top half of the teams work better if you switch the Lele and the Finny. Oh man.
All right.
Anyway, that's everybody. Is everyone? We've got our rankings sorted, I think.
I mean, I have my
Do you wanna
rankings.
just do,
I
like,
see
our
you guys
top
have
fours
yours.
that are on our own teams.
We can get rid of our own team. I think.
I
think
put
it's
my team at
meaningless to
number
have our own team.
1. You know, shout out to
Yeah, okay,
Moa
we just
Mafia.
everyone put
Yeah,
their
I
own team
did
at number
too,
1.
man.
I think. Yeah. Okay. So we'll just shout out Moa Mafia. No one will say they're number 1, right? No one will say they're
Shout out
number
the
1
Chili Boys.
because everyone knows where it is. But
Jelly Boys
Um,
cold emoji. Don't forget to put your cold emoji.
real. So I think we'll start. Everyone saying their 8th place. I think we'll start with that.
Yeah. So for my 8th
Okay.
place,
Oh,
I have
that's
Happy
tough.
Friends. I think Happy Friends is a team of strong players, but I think they have very bad drafts outside Usum. I think Usum is their strong tier. I think Switch they have very very bad drafts, and I think SV they have very bad drafts. If they are
Yep.
winning games, I think they're going to have to be prep diffing and player diffing, which Vinny doesn't strike me as a very strong prepper in VGC draft. If this was singles, maybe. In VGC draft, I'm not sure how much Vinny can like carry, right? Because he does have very limited knowledge.
Yeah. I'm in
Um,
a similar mindset. I have Happy Friends lost as well. I took I took similar reasons as you did. Their only real format that's draftable is that's like draft heavy is like USUM. They're dropping games in Switch. They're dropping games in SV. They have They have like one or two good players per those formats. So I don't think they're fucked. But you're starting down a leg, right? You're behind everybody else in these formats from the get go. Just having a good player there is not enough to elevate the format enough that you guys are gonna be winning enough weeks. And so maybe you win one or two some weeks every week. Maybe you'll win one slot in SV and one slot in NSS. I'd be shocked if you're winning more games than that. So you have to be winning every USUM game, one from each SS and SV, and somehow finding an extra win somewhere. It seems unlikely.
I think the best of 8
Yeah,
hurts this team a lot. They benefit from the 2 USUM slots, but the best of 8 hurts them because their other slots are weaker.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think the support's a little weak too. I had them at rank 8 too. I had as my 7, I had the Steel Rollers. I'm not convinced by really I'm not really super impressed, but I haven't looked at their Switch, but I'm not really impressed by their USUM or their Scarlet and Violet. Their talent is okay, but I'm not sure if but I know Cookie's definitely not going to be mocking. He said that like 15 times.
Yes.
And then I doubt Nicholas Dinelli is going to be doing a ton of mocks either. So I feel like they're not going to be able to prep diff.
I agree.
They're still a good team. Wouldn't be surprised to see either them or Happy Friends make playoffs. But I think they are 7th. I think the other teams are better.
Yep. So I also have them at 7th. I think that drafts are just middling. And I don't look at any of the drafts and go except for one, which is the SV3, and go, wow, this is gonna fucking shit on everybody. And then I look at their players, and don't be wrong, no hate to the players. Cookie's great. I love that guy. Fucking they've got players, right? But none of them I look at and go, this guy's the prep goat, right? Similar to what you were saying. I don't think anyone there is prep diffing and draft, right? And so it's maybe Cookie in a couple games, right? But he's only doing his own shit.
I think Spades definitely has it in him to prep diff, but you need two really
you need 2 or
hard
3. You need
to
2 or
really
3
make a
prep
team.
differs here, and so I don't think it'll come together. I think you'll get games, you'll win weeks, but I would be surprised if they made playoffs. But I hope they prove me wrong.
So for me, I actually have Lunala Dream Eaters in 7th. I think Lunala Dream Eaters have a very strong team overall. I don't like their drafts. I think their drafts is going to be what hold them back. I don't think their USUM's amazing. USUM was kind of supposed to be their X factor. I think their USUM is they're very weird. At least to me, they're very weird. If they win, I think they're able to win games, but I don't know how amazing they are. And then I don't really see the vision behind most of your SS teams except for the Rain one. And then Scarlet and Violet, a couple of their drafts looked pretty off, right? I think if they are winning, they'll probably player diffing. They might be able to prep diff because I know Sven's a tryhard. I know they have a couple of tryhards on this team with Impulse. Yep. I'm more worried about how Shifter Nick would do on this kind of team, right? Because his draft, which I know is that SV3, is not very good, right? Miniman, I don't know if Miniman has a team that he's going to be in love with. I think maybe it's their that SV1. I think maybe it's probably the one he's gonna slot every single time. But I don't really think you just give him something that's that's pretty easy to use and he'll do fine with it I had last season, right? I think he's a good player, but I'm not too sure how he'll do this season. The rest of the team, from what I heard, Ally was an undersell, and Solarno is an underpay. I'm not too sure how they'll do, and I'm not maybe familiar with the player's game. I don't know. Maybe they know ball, and I just don't, right? So for me, I had that team that last. I think the captain slot Giga carry the rest of the teams in the drafts.
I agree completely.
My next ranking, I actually have Overcooked Artilleries in 6. I think overall, player roster wise, I think they are actually one of the weaker teams player roster wise. I think that the one captain being Null is he had one good season. His other 2 seasons, he bombed season 2 and a middling season 3. So I'm not too sure on the 25k buy-in here for him. He's very active. And Esther, I'm not too sure how they'll do in this stronger USUM pool, especially because their USUM drafts aren't I think last season you could say they had amazing USUM drafts. this season, I think they have one amazing draft, one bad draft, and one middling draft, right?
I agree.
Is Esther is not slotting that amazing draft, which I think is the Usum
Esther,
one.
I feel like last season their Usum 1 was kind of middling, and then it was their Usum 2 that was really crazy.
Right, that they were slotting every week, that Metagross
the
draft.
difference is that there is 2 Usums regular season this time.
Yeah, there's 2 now,
1.
yeah.
And you're going to be flexing where you're forced to play all 3.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Like, who's the other?
So
Who's
worse.
the other Usum slot on this team? Who's slotting? Right, that's the important thing.
So I have them also at 6th. Sorry, I have them at 6th for similar reasons. As you mentioned, a big one is if this team did not buy into captain slots and they just have one, I think this would look a lot nicer. No flame to the captains. I just think that like the player skill level of the pool in general is a lot higher, and they spent a lot of money on players that I think are not the same level of caliber as some of the other people at their price ranks. They have a good player roster overall, but I'm just looking at it and I'm like, who is slotting where, right? Like they don't have a lot of people that are like, I'm gonna win this fucking format, right? Like they have Esther for Usum. That's kind of all I'm getting. And so, if their drafts look nicer, I would probably bump them higher from experience and consistency. But I'm not a huge fan.
I agree. If they had better, if their drafts are a bit better, I would definitely bump them higher. Flipsicle cursed. If you have Flipsicle on your team, you're always guaranteed to have like mostly bad or milling drafts.
That's tough.
That's crazy.
You had someone else, right? Instead.
Yeah. Oh, my 6 was Dream Eaters. I like them a little bit more than what's his face, Steel Rollers, because I like their I like their SV more than like the Steel Rollers SV. You know, I think they have like a lot of cool ideas. I think if those work out, they'll go well. And then I am also pretty high on their Usum. Like, I don't think they have an Usum draft that's bad. And there's not a lot of teams that can say that, which I think is great.
I see the line.
And then
Hopeless
covered most of their weaknesses. This is again with Happy Friends. I think these teams with like a ton of non-draft players are going to be kind of dead with mocks.
I think Sven's a tryhard. I think that team. I think Happy Friends will be dead with mocks, but I think Sven's team will have mocks.
We can lead into my 5th pick here now, because I have Lunalas at 5th instead of you guys having it at 7th and 6th. I think their drafts are playable. I don't look at this and think that they have a format that is just fucked in. I think all of these drafts are playable.
Yeah.
And secondly, importantly, I think we're really I think you guys are really like expecting their server just to be dead, and I highly doubt that.
Well, I never said their server was dead.
Okay, not dead. I mean, like, you think that they're not going to be like mocking and clapping and whatever. I think.
No, I called Sven a tryhard. Let's not say that. I called him a tryhard. I think he will be mocking and prepping.
That's fair. I think that they can prep diff, is what I'm trying to say. I think I'm looking at this roster, I think this team can fucking prep diff shit and like pilot shit, like to beat people. And I would not be shocked if they end up making playoffs, even though I have them at 5th.
Right, exactly. Like I said, I think every team can make playoffs.
I mean, every team, right? But like, especially Lunalas, I have them at 5th, but like, honestly, they could be 4th for me. Maybe I'm overvaluing their player skill, but I really like this team.
No, I think the team's good. I think it's like I did like other ones.
Team.
Yeah. So if they have a good day, I think this team goes crazy, right?
All right. Now I have probably the most controversial take out of everybody here. I have Steel Rollers at 5th. Yes. I'll explain my reason for Steel Rollers at 5th. I think Steel Rollers got 3 really good players for cheap. I think Sigaretin has consistently always done well, right? He got him for cheap. Comedier.
It was like okay season 2.
Mm-hmm. But he also was really strong last season.
Yeah.
And he's basically a triple under that price. Comedier always has had very strong results recently. He always has very good WBG results. He actually won Charm, and he did well on my DFL team. He plays standard VGC. He's always done well there. I think they got him for very cheap. I think Naniko's an actually pretty good player. I think he will go positive. And then it comes down to if Cookie and let's say you get at best, you get a 4-3 season out of Cookie. All right? And you get a good season out of Nicholas Dill, like 6-1, right? Yeah. If Spades can pull like a 4-2, maybe 4-3 season, that team will make playoffs.
Yep.
I think so.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I just think a lot has to go right. And that's like every team on this fucking ranking can make playoffs, right? If everything goes right, every team here could theoretically make playoffs.
Mhm.
I just think there's too much that needs to go right to place them higher than 7th for me.
Yeah, I think I'm also a little skeptical of armies because the thing with army teams, like where you have like a ton of players for cheap, is that the value will always look good because like a 30K player, it is physically impossible for them to win 6 times as much as a 5K player. But like the thing is, you
Yes.
only have 8 slots a week, so you really need those auto win slots. And
Mhm.
I don't know how many of these. This team has
I
like I'd say 2.5
I also have to
of
add,
those.
it's also very frail, like not frail, vulnerable to the too many cooks syndrome, right? You have like a bunch of like min bids yapping in the chat, me included. I'm a yapping min bid, right? But if you have too many of them, it becomes a problem because then like the actual people that know what they're doing like can't talk. So that could happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, rank 4. We're in top 4. This is theoretically who we would think would make playoffs, right?
Right.
So,
I can lead us
Let
off
me
here.
let me get my 5 off first.
oh,
Oh,
yeah, we can
okay.
get your 5, right? This is controversial.
Yeah.
This is controversial.
Yeah, my 5 is controversial because both of you have them in your top 4. My 5 is Starstorm Crusaders. Now, this is a pretty elite cap core. Like I think their top 3 is realistically all going like 5 wins or better. So like 15 wins, that's almost like half of your way to the playoffs. But like my problem here is that first of all, I think like the depth at the lower levels is kind of shady. Like, like steel rollers, for example, like steel rollers can pull like a Nico or like an event off the bench, like if they need to. Starstorm
Mhm.
Crusaders, I mean, not to say that their players are on the bench are bad, because they're not. They're definitely good players who I could see going positive, but like they're not as good as the other ones. So like if something goes wrong, which it might, have problems. Also, I think some of their players aren't as tested as others. Like if we look at them, like Chromate is very new. Accidental, uh, Accidental like has not played SM against super elite competition. Like he's done well every time he's played it. But like if you look at it, it's like past STC seasons, which have the greatest comp in USM, and like maybe like one past WBG season, and
I see it.
Keanu too. Like Keanu has a lot of motivation issues. Like I'm not sure if he's gonna play 7 games, and I'm not sure if he's gonna be grinding super hard.
Mhm.
And then like even at the top, like Robin and Miso, like those are guys who like can very easily go 7-0, but they can also very easily go 2-5. Well, not Miso actually, but
No, I
like
mean, no.
Miso
Miso has
can
gone
easily go.
negative. Miso has gone negative every STC season I played with him, I think.
Yeah,
And like regular
yeah, like
season.
they're both
Yeah.
like 0500 in like around SCC like all time. And
Yep.
like I don't want to bring that up because like I don't want to be too results oriented. Like there's a
I
lot of
agree.
things that went into those seasons. It doesn't reflect how well they played, but
Yep.
like they can definitely not carry. So like
Yes.
for all those reasons, like I think that they're not quite as strong as the 4 teams above them.
So this
Mm.
leads into my 4th pick, which is Starstorm, right? I think that they arguably could be 5th. I'm not gonna fight you on that. I think Lunala, Dream Eaters, for me, could be higher to 4th, because I don't know, maybe I'm glazing their players too much. But I have them 4th because one, I've worked with them. This is like it's whole ups 3. And 2, I think if Miso locks the fuck in and like takes this super seriously and tryhards the shit out of this with like Rob enabling him, that's a scary fucking prospect, right? Because I think every season Miso has been kind of like cruising through it. Um, this season, if he's captain, he's going to be hopefully like super active, mocking, prepping, all of this shit, right? And so if you have that motivation from a player like Miso, plus like you have like top players like Angel and Keanu if he's also motivated, I think the ceiling for this team is insane. It's just if they get to that ceiling. So I have them at 4th.
All right. What was mine? My fourth team is actually Chili Boys, cold emoji. I rate Chili Boys as their. I think in auction. I think if we're I'm not going to count my own team here. I think that boy probably had the second best auction out of all the teams. I think
I agree.
I think his auction was very strong. I think the issue
agree.
comes to the drafts, which kind of bumped me down a little bit. But bumped him down for me. When I'm looking at just pure auction versus drafts, I think their SS2 slot is a guaranteed lose slot every week. Depending on like which of the two bad ones you're slotting, I think your SS2 one of your SS will win, which probably is the end, and then your other one, if you give them one of the bad teams, they're going to lose. So either you're forced to give the end one of the middling teams and hope he just skill diffs, or you give them the good draft, or you give the good draft at the end, probably guarantee win, and then you give the middling draft for maybe guarantee loss, right?
It's a 1-1 every week.
And then your Usum, I think Lem's good. Trace should pull a positive season this season. Unknown if he does, because of last season I also did bump them down a little bit. In theory, SR Volt Mike is a crow, should go positive. We don't know because they haven't played draft, right?
Yep.
SR Volt Mike, he is my friend, he's my GOAT. He doesn't take me as he's going to sweat draft. He's going to take me as, yo, what do I bring here? Or, yo, give me a team kind of guy. And who's building his team on this team? Is it you, Lem? Are you building his team? If you're not building his team, he's going next. Very simple.
Let's chill on that, man. Let's chill on that.
And
actually, I'm not going to defend my team. Like, obviously, you guys know I think my team's going to do well. But
I think your cheaper end is strong. I think your cheaper end players are strong. It just depends on which drafts they are using, and it depends on how your pro captains prioritize, like who gets what, right? Are we trying to have guaranteed win slots, or are we trying to have it where people get their preference kind of drafts? And if you're giving your good player a weaker draft, which you're gonna have to identify what are your weaker drafts, what aren't yours, right? Then now you're probably giving up one of your guaranteed win slots. It did bump you down for me. I think overall your auction was very strong though, which kept you in the top 4.
Yeah. What was your fourth pick, Laura?
Actually, wait. Let me make my Chili Boys defense first.
Well, we can get to that when I get to them. Okay, we can get to them when I get to them.
Okay, fine. All right. So my fourth team was Overcooked Artilleries, which you guys both had missing. I kind of have a lot of belief in this team. First of all, I think they're awesome. I think you guys are making a little bit too much out of it. Like, it's not as great as it was last season, where like you could just bring that insane Mega Metagross one every time. But like, I think the Mega Metagross one they have is good. I think the Lele one is gonna be great. Like, I think what they should do, in my opinion, is that you have whoever the non-Esther player playing the Lele one, and then Esther playing the Mega Metagross one, and then Esther Mega Metagross's skill diffs, and then the Lele user just, abuses Lele, and I think that's going to win a ton of games. And SS, they have the hopeless drafts. I would hope, no pun intended, those drafts do well. And then SV, like, I don't think it's that bad. I think they can manage. And then also, I think their player roster is very good. Like, just like Esther Null, Repeat, Flipsicle, Beagle, like, this might be just because they're all draft players and I am a little biased towards draft players, but this is like an amazing top 5 in my opinion, especially for the price. And then like, even as you keep going down, there's like a lot of great options here, like Borgie, Jesus, AFK, Jesus, whatever, AFK Champion, Kodanish, Seps, the Raptor. Like, these are all guys I could reasonably see like placing on a lineup and like being threatened and being favored to win their games. And then finally, the one thing I want to say is like team culture. Like, I know Hopeless, like, you've interacted with these guys, like, these guys are really friendly with each other. Like, I think this server is going to be cooking. Like, I think they can prep skill difference games, like, especially in SV.
I really hope they can. I have a lot of like, I'm rooting for the draft players, because obviously we're draft players, right? But I really hope that they can.
This is the team of draft players. We naturally want them to do well. That is very true. That is very true.
But I have to unfortunately try to be objective here, and I have to place them below a couple of the other teams that I think are stronger players, even if they're from outside draft. So
yeah, I'm sorry.
I hope they prove me wrong.
my goal every season is I have to hate on the Flipsicle team and put him missing playoffs. Yet again,
enough.
I have to put him missing playoffs this time
Curse.
again. So just so you know, it's not because of you, it's because you have Flipsicle. If you take Flipsicle off your team, you rise to like 3rd ranking. And with Flipsicle, down to 6.
This is all a ploy to get Flipsicle to the Mawa
we
Mafia,
can-
man.
This
That
is just
is
a
the
plan
play.
for me to get Flipsicle at mids. Yep.
This is going to rank 3, which I have Chili Boys. So before you defend them, I will do a little bit of a defense. I think you guys have really fucking good players. Like really fucking, you included, Limero. I'm like damn, you guys are balling. And while I don't love some of your drafts, right? I think that there are flaws in your drafts. I think, again, like I mentioned with Lunala, I think that there's not enough problems with them for you guys to auto-lose games. And so I think that with your team player pool, you guys will be able to patch those holes, or I'm missing something and you guys are just going to cook, right? And so I would be shocked if you guys miss playoffs with the quality of players you have, despite some of the issues in draft, because those issues are not egregious.
My 3rd place, I
Okay.
have Starstorm Crusaders. I actually had Starstorm Crusaders.
Chili Boys
Let
defense.
him glaze his team.
My fault. I'm sorry. Go ahead and glaze your team. I forgot about that.
Okay, listen, man. I know a Mawa Mafia glazing session is coming up very soon. Okay, let me glaze my team first. All right, yeah. So we have that boy. We have that boy at the end. You know, 2 of the most storied captains in STC history. I would say the best performing outside of Hopeless. At the end, in particular, this guy is like I think 19-3. Okay, he loses 1 time a season, and then he wins the rest of his games. All right.
Sure.
And I'm not gonna glaze myself. We'll skip over myself. We have Trace. You know, this guy's a winner. Okay, he chews up the elite competition, man. Like this is the best season of STC ever. That's good. That gives him.
That is good. That is good. Trace does way better when his opponent is good at the game.
Yeah. So I think with that 3, we have the best tie break. I think in the tour if it ever gets to that, and I think our roster down the line is great. Like I don't think there's any weak links here, and then we have a ton of like really strong like players like SR Volt Mike the Crow again. You know, great SV. And then finally, I just want to say on our drafts, like you were hating on the SS. I don't know enough about SS to confidently counter you on that, but I am gonna say I think we have the best SV in the tour. Like I think all of our SV drafts are great, and some of them in particular are really fire.
Definitely
And
not
I think
biased.
our Usum also is pretty good. I made the Usum, so I can't see them objectively, but I think they're all great drafts.
That's fair. Okay, you're up. You had Storm at 3.
Yeah. So, I had Starstorm at 3. I think Starstorm is objectively there's nothing on the team that wows me, like on their roster wise.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
there's no player that's like, wow, this is like gonna be the
Yes.
guarantee win slot every week.
Yes.
I would say Miso would be like that. I have faith in Miso to pull a strong season this season, right? I also
really
do
hope he does.
think with Robin's an activity slave, right? Like this guy
Yes.
farms activity. This team should have good prep across the board. Across the board, they should have good prep. There should be no troll prep here unless Robin trolls prep, essentially, right? Or his player doesn't listen
Yep.
to him. Like,
Or Robin does the classic where he puts the wrong matchup into the channel, and then they prep the wrong matchup.
and then
That's a
nobody
good one.
catches it, right?
No
Yeah.
one catches it. That would be the good one. I hope Robin does that at least once again. That was funny.
I do think the one downside is I feel like that team. This team essentially, I would say this team is a better version of Overcooked Octilleries. When I think like the team that can slot like every player, like Limero said, you
I
could
agree.
reasonably slot every player. This team essentially is just a better version of Overcooked Octilleries, where you can slot
agree.
every player and the captain core is stronger.
Yes. And I think also like they're more flexible in who plays where, which is kind of important.
I actually disagree. I think they're less flexible.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Flexible? I think they're more flexible.
I
So maybe
think
I'm
that
overselling
they're.
it.
I think their captains are
I
flexible.
think Beagle locked into SS. I think they are more flexible.
I don't know. I think the
And
I think
Esther locked
with
into
Robin and
Usum
Miso,
also.
you can flex them anywhere, but everybody else, they're going to be kind of like hard lock tiers. Like you're not playing.
I
You're not playing
disagree. The
Angel
only people that
outside
are
of S. You're not playing Angel outside of SS. Keanu's only playing SV.
I
I'm pretty sure Chromate and Accidental are only playing Usum. Jay is decent is only playing SS. Flap is your flex, and I don't know where Jesse, M. Setsuko, and Nathan and Flap and Jesse are probably only
maybe
playing.
I'm overvaluing that, but I still think they are reasonably flexible and like consistent across the board, and they can probably prep each other, right? Like everyone here probably knows enough about the other formats they can consistently help each other out with like blocks and shit.
I think Jay and Jesse could both slot SS SV. There is actually a bit of a hole in Usum now that I think of it. Like I'm not sure what you're probably like putting Miso in on your flex week.
Mm-hmm. You're probably putting Miso or Robin, and I don't think I don't think they'll
You can
ever
move
slot
Angel
Robin
down.
in
Angel would
Usum.
be down to play Usum. They probably won't move her because like she's Swish goat, but like she would play Usum for level.
Yeah, I think if they move
She was
Angel
good
to
at- she was
Usum, they're
good at
losing
Gen
week.
6 in season 1.
Yeah, she's good at Usum. She just never gets to play it. Because she's always a Swish play. Okay, top 2. Well, yeah, top 2. Wait, no, you had your third.
We have
Give your third, Lemuro.
Your third pick.
my third? Well, my third actually kind of leads into the top 2. Mine is Zorwa's I think probably the strongest captain core, and then their only weakness is Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and then you pick one of the best Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon players in the pool, and then you just keep adding to it. Like you get Chris Reed, you have Val, you get Idol, you get Alice Sabrina. Like everything's great, and then the big thing here for me is that like I was looking through their drafts, like I'm not sure if they have a single bad draft. Maybe that SV3, that one's not great, but basically everything else is good. Which means like everyone is coming in with a positive matchup, and with a team that's already like this good as pure players, you have a good chance. The one weakness I see is that like Plant, I could see him having a season like season 3, where like he's spending so much time prepping everyone else. His record's not great.
Yes.
And then, Zach, I'm not sure how hard I'm not sure how hard he's gonna try hard. So those are the 2 points of uncertainty that keep it from number 1, but I still think it's a very good team.
I agree.
I have no complaints about this draft. Like I think reasonably, there's a lot of rising talent, and you put rising talent with Piranha Plant, they're now talent. That's my opinion of that.
Yeah, that was me. Hello, that was me. The first season of STC.
You're still not talent, buddy. You need to. You retired. You might have been rising talent. You ain't no more.
I was at one point. I'm trying to say I was at one point.
This guy is on fraud watch.
But the point is that he knows how to cultivate people, right? And so now you give him a team of like some more experienced veterans in other formats and cultivated talent. I think this guy's gonna go fucking crazy, and I love that drafts. So I have the number 2, with the obvious number 1 pick for myself being obvious, but yeah. I hope you have the same, right?
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I think you guys answered the questions already.
Cool.
Okay, I'll start off the Wawa Mafia glazing session. Okay, so, Hopeless Lodge Ice, that's also an incredible captain core. Hopeless, most winning captain in STC history, most winning player in draft VGC history. This is, honestly, kind of provides similar support value to Plant while simultaneously almost being guaranteed a positive record. And then, Jay Baudry, the 10 Phoenix, good players. Tony, good player, and I'm hearing he's active now, which is even more of a buff.
He is active.
6.5K is like a steal. Like there's more expensive players here that I would definitely pick her against. Hiss, again, very good player. Yuki, activity carry. Like you, Lodge Eyes Hopeless. Like I know there's not a shortage of yapping in that server.
Oh no, it's just like 5 yappers every single day. It's great.
The Genius X Eat Food's also great. And then really obviously like you might not actually be the strongest roster player wise, although I think you have a very good case for it. But the big thing that made the decision for me was when I was looking at your drafts and like commentating on all of them. And like, I don't think you guys have a bad draft, man. I think all of your drafts are really good.
I agree.
So
I think we
yeah,
went through pretty meticulously with all of them.
yeah, I think every player on your team is coming in with a good matchup, and they have enough talent to execute on that.
Yeah. Bro really did just glaze us like crazy. That's crazy. Yo, I have nothing to add. He just like did all my glazing for me.
Yeah, what can I
Everything
say?
bad.
This team is just mono goats. Like,
Yeah.
like, come on now. Best auction, best captain, best drafts. Like, dude, like, what more could you want from me, man? Like, what more?
To be honest, I'm like legitimately like a lot of years I've done team tours, like a couple of years I've done team tours, and I'm like looking at our drafts at the end, and I'm like, oh, we did okay. I'm looking at our drafts at the end of this fucking season, like with this shit. Holy fuck, are we fun? I'm gushing everywhere, dude. This draft is fucking beautiful. I actually can't look at one of these drafts and go, I don't want to play that.
We should have got
Which is
Kingdra in
crazy.
SV2, man. I'm so convinced we should have got Kingdra in SV2.
I'm happy we didn't because of the reasons we talked about.
I wanted Kingdra. I'm mad we didn't go with my plan.
It would have been cool. It would have been cool.
I got put in the corner.
You did get told.
I got put in the corner.
We were like, no. I'm looking at these drafts and I'm like, holy fucking shit, how did we get all of these? I don't know, dude. We kind of cooked. We had activity in drafting phase as well, which I'm not used to. I'm used to like people keeping to their own little section. We had like 4 people in every draft chat. It was nice.
For sure. And like the Francis and Jid Morty, them both being active, like they were very active in drafting, like more than you think they would,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Like they
yes,
had
yes.
very much input on drafts where they would want to slot. Yo, like that, like Francis was like grinding SS, bro. That guy was in SS 24/7. That guy was grinding. Like, I did not expect that when I got these guys. I didn't expect them to be like that active, and that was like a really good thing for me.
I will say, I'm glad that I don't have to worry about activity because I know I'm an activity slave. But this team kind of just runs itself, to be honest. Like activity wise, like it's just everyone like sort of propels each other forward. So I'm really keen for this season. Obviously I'm glazing my own team still, and I'm gonna shut up now. But that's power rankings. That's pretty much. I'm
glad that we all agree Mawa Mafia is the best team. Thank God.
Yeah. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Now we're on the same page. I love the Mawa Mafia.
I didn't say that.
But if you compare all our teams together, we got Mawa Mafia in 2, and it won twice. If you put them all together, Mawa Mafia is still number 1.
You guys rigged it.
All right. Yep. Do we have any closing note for the power rankings?
Prove us wrong. If you're upset, if you're right, prove us right. That's my answer.
Yeah, thank you. Prove us wrong. Feel free to tag me every day. Hashtag this number in your PRs. By the way, every time your team wins a week.
Yeah. Hashtag rank 4. By the way.
Just be aware. Just be aware. If you do that, I will start tagging your entire team in hashtag number in PRs when you lose a week. So I will play fire with fire. So just be aware. If you don't like it, don't start doing it to me. I'll play fire with fire.
Yeah.
No.
I want to say, first of all, subscribe. And second of all, hate is stronger than love. So if you hate where you got placed, click the dislike button twice.
No.
Hit the like button just once.
Chill. Do not dislike this video. Only likes, only good vibes.
Only love.
I will never do this again. If I get a singular dislike, I will never do this again.
It like undislikes it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to this ramble.
I'm closing off. I'm clicking off the recording.